Hello, hello, my lovelies. Welcome, welcome in. Happy Monday. I had to think about what day it was. It's always weird when I take time off streaming. I haven't streamed in a week. And whenever I take even the tiniest bit of time off streaming, everything sure feels weird. What is Seribot doing? It was in slow-mo. Slow mode's okay, like slow mode's meant to be on when I'm offline, it's not meant to be on when I'm online. So hopefully everything's fine now. Okay, good. Great. So yeah, hi. Sorry, it feels weird. If I take any time off streaming and then I come back, I'm like, how do I do this? This feels weird. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm nervous every time. As if it's not my first time ever streaming again. But hello, hello. It is Monday, which means it is Etsy Orders Day. Didn't stream Friday or Wednesday because it was too hot. We were having a heat wave. It was uncomfortable, to say the least. And I didn't want to put my PC through being shut in this room while it tries to run Hades, so. But welcome in Green, welcome in Trippy, welcome in Dallas, welcome in Jody, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome in anyone else who is lurking. Oh, my tummy. So yeah, it's Etsy Day. So we're gonna be cutting out stickers, cutting out badges, as usual. I feel so tired. My sleep schedule's been fine. I don't know what's happened. I've just been like really my brain's not been so good this last week. I've been really stressed and like I'm sure the heat didn't help. So I do feel kind of half asleep. I don't know why. Well, no, I do. Well, so last night I went to bed at 2 AM, but then I couldn't fall asleep. I just lied there with insomnia for like a couple hours. And then the 2 nights before that I went to bed at 4 AM. And it wasn't intentional. I was just up and I just was like doing work and I was like, I want to get this done. I can get this done really fast. And then it was like 3 hours later and I was like, oh no, what? How is it that time? It's probably because I started off waking up, getting out of bed later, and so that's probably why I wasn't getting tired as early. But there's no reason for me getting out of bed later. I don't know if it's just the heat making me feel just tired all the time. And so I was more awake in the evening because that's the only time it was kind of cool. Or what? I'm not sure. But that needs a fixing. I tried to go to bed a little earlier last night. I was like, which I know 2 AM isn't early, but it was earlier than 4. And then I just had insomnia and couldn't fall asleep. So that didn't go to plan. Certain stress should be over though. Those of you who were here last week know what I talked about in regards to Etsy. Not something that was actually the fault of Etsy this time. But my support ticket got answered. Etsy said I'm not going to recap the whole thing. I don't want to talk about it. But I just for an update for anyone who is aware of the situation. Etsy replied to the support ticket. Took longer than they said it would, and they were like, "Yeah, we did that." And then, so I told the people that Etsy had done it, and they said, "Okay, we'll check with the shop. I haven't heard anything back from them, so hopefully it did all go through, and they will never talk to me again. I don't want them to ever talk to me again. So that's over, hopefully. Wow, I didn't feel that tired until I just started streaming, but I mean, what was also not helping, probably, if I seem a bit out of it as well. If an accidental groan comes through, my tummy hurts. Oh, I'll laugh about it. If not, I'll cry. My period's a week early. What the fuck? That's really uncool. Green, the typo that you made got picked up by Automod because it was similar to a word that I'm not going to say. I'm not gonna post the message in chat. I'm not sure what you meant to say. But yeah, my tum-tum. My tum-tum. But you know what's pretty, you're like, oh, well, maybe it's all the stress that made it early. Okay, but you know why it's even worse that it's early other than just having, like, 2 in the same month? If it had been on time... Some of you or I have Comic-Con at the end of this month, and if this had been on time and was happening next week, then the next time I'd be on after that would be, like, the first week of August, which would be after the con. But now that it's here right now, if the next one is on time... It means I'll be on during Comic-Con. Thanks, buddy! That's so cool! That's so- I'm always checking, I'm always like, am I gonna be on for con? Because, like, don't do this to me. That's so cool of it. So either the next one needs to be a little bit late, oh, like, really ridiculously early, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, so... That was really cool of it. Yeah, so, So if I'm out of it, my sleep schedule's a bit weird. I can't believe it's hitting me right now that I just feel really tired, like I could take a nap, which is weird because I don't do naps. Maybe it's more, maybe it's like the sign of like a migraine coming on. I hope not. I really hope not, because today is a day of celebration. Why do I feel out of it all of a sudden? Let me. Which, if you couldn't tell from the stream. It is T-minus 4 hours and 50 minutes until the start of Art Fight. For those who don't know what Art Fight is, or if anyone wants a link to my profile, at any point anyone can type in !! Art Fight. Hi bunnies, welcome in. And it'll pop up in chat with a little there you go. Art Fight is an art event that happens every July where artists, quote-unquote, attack other artists by drawing their OCs. By uploading these drawings to Art Fight, you earn points for your team. Team names are just for fun, they don't relate to what you can or can't draw. And it's just to have fun. If you go into Art Fight expecting to get loads and loads and loads of free art, or that, like, everyone that you attack will attack you back, and you're gonna get angry if they don't attack you back, don't go in with that mentality. Obviously, it's nice to get drawings in return, but, like, don't get angry if you attack someone and they don't attack you back, you know? So I wish a very have fun to everyone who is taking part. Yes, it starts July 1st, however, do not start drawing attacks yet until that timer reaches 0. It is against the rules. It is cheating. I know that might seem unfair, especially for like my time zone where it's like it's not going to start until 7 PM my time, but that's just so it starts the same time for everybody. Yes, it's starting 7 PM for me where I'll be more tired versus it starting at 12, you know, or like at like 10 AM for someone who's like on the East Coast of America. Yeah, that feels a bit sucky, but at the same time that means we still get the same amount of time. So anyone in the UK, yes, it starts at 7 PM for us today, but it also means we'll get until 7 PM on August 1st to finish. So yes, we're starting later on the first day, but it means we'll get like an extra day at the end of working on stuff, so it works out the same. There is still time to join Art Fight. If you join before that timer hits 0, you can pick your team. Oh, you can have it randomly select your team. If you join after that timer hits 0, your team will be randomly assigned to you. You can join the website without picking a team. You can just be a spectator if you want to. To pick a team and to actually take part in the event, you need to have uploaded at least 1 character. And if you haven't got any OCs that you've drawn a lot or have any art in hand, you can upload pick crews or like screenshots of like a character maker and something like, you know, like Baldur's Gate, Stardew Valley, Toontown, whatever, as your actual character sheet. You don't have to have like a full reference sheet, it can just be a drawing. I just like making reference sheets. But you could just upload 1 drawing of a character, or even just like a headshot, it doesn't have to be a full sheet or anything. And it can even be a screenshot, you know, or like a pick crew, but only for like your character references. You can't attack someone else and earn points by just making their character in a pick crew. You can't do that, because you didn't, unless you drew that pick crew yourself, you can't do that. Don't do that, that's not your hour. But you can use that for references for your own character. If you have more questions, there is the Art Fight About page, the rules page, and the FAQ. They also have an official Discord that you can join, which always frustrates me because there's a couple help channels in the Discord, and 99% of the questions that, like, as in, there's 2 channels in the Art Fight Discord for people to ask the moderators for help with stuff, and 99% of the time the questions they're asking are answered in the FAQ. Please read the FAQ first, you know? Like, and the rules. Like, most of the time people are asking, like, when does it start? How do I pick a team? How do I put an image in my profile? And it's like, you could save everyone loads of time if you can just read the FAQ. They literally have a whole tutorial. All they'll do if you ask how to put images in your profile is link you to the FAQ, where they have a step-by-step guide with screenshots on how to add images to your profile. And if you want to get stuff to decorate your profile with, they also have an art assets page, which has all the official bits and bobs. Ooh, is Art Fight starting to slow down? I'm actually surprised how well it's been responding. Historically, Art Fight in the past has been so slow to respond on the first few days of Art Fight. Like if you try and upload an attack, it just doesn't work. But they put more money into the server costs this year, so we will see. We will see. Devil, welcome in. Space Age, welcome in. Thank you for the head pats. We're talking about Art Fight because tis the first day of Art Fight today, but the event doesn't start for another 5 hours, so don't cheat by drawing stuff ahead of time. But if you go to the Art Fight assets page, you're gonna see a thing that says community-made assets. Art Fight is starting to slow down. Everyone's trying to join on like 5 hours before the event starts. If you notice the website lagging, that is pretty normal. You taught yourself how to make stamps so you can have ones that you couldn't find. I did the same thing! But you can find some fan-made assets on here. And also they have a link here to their Toy House world. If you have a Toy House account, you can see all of the fan-made assets that people in Toy House have made, and if you have a Toy House account, you can submit your own fan-made assets to their Toy House page. Oh, someone made stamps! Aww. There's all sorts of stuff, there's these little buttons, like, what these are what I've put some of these on my profile. Oh, somebody made stamps. Oh my god, someone made a lot of stamps. And they made stamps for previous year teams? Whoa, that's a lot of stabs. Animated ones? Hey, they're the only team ones they've made the years that I took part. Is they cute? I don't need to add more stuff to my profile though. I've already got stuff on it representing teams I've been in previous years. This will be my 3rd year taking part. My one goal is I would like to draw 10 attacks, because both previous years that I've taken part, I've drawn 9 each year. So I would just like to have a new record. So my goal is I'll be happy if I get 10 done. I want to try and draw a lot more this year. I have a lot more time too. The reason why so few got done before is because, one, I was too hung up on being perfectionistic about it and being like a full body, fully coloured background, all this stuff, whereas now I'm like, I want to do a lot more sketches. You can't just do sketches. You can do like line art, or like, that's not what I want to say. You could literally just draw like the head of, like a floating head of a character and not colour it in, and that's fine. Like, there's different levels to attacks, and the more detail that is in it, the more points it's worth. But you can equally just submit a load of, like, you don't have to colour stuff in if you don't want to, and I want to do a bunch more sketches. Because I've been doing more like, a couple drawings over the last few weeks that have just been sketches for me for fun. And, they have been fun. and just drawing like really little quick drawings has been really nice, and I'd like to keep doing that. So that's my goal. When the timer reaches 0, for those of you who are taking part, you know the submit button on the top tab where you click submit and there's a drop down and it says character? Once the event has started, you're going to click submit, and as well as character there will also be an option that says attack. And you're going to click on that whenever you want to upload an attack. Obviously I can't walk you through uploading an attack without that there, but I'll describe what it will look like. Just like when uploading a character, they'll ask you for a main image and a thumbnail image. You will put in the user ID of whoever you're attacking, which is why, if you've noticed next to people's username, there's like a little clipboard. If you click on that, it'll give you... Oh, does it actually do username now and not ID number? It used to be ID number. Well, hey, maybe it's just username now. They used to give you, like, an actual ID number that you had to write in. Oh, that might be for character. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna, like, type in someone's username, right? And then they'll want to know which character of that user you want. So you're gonna go to the character, and everyone is gonna have a unique ID number. So you're gonna click on the little clipboard to get the character's ID number, like this is Arden's ID number. You'll plop that in, and then it'll know, okay, you're attacking empty masks with the character Arden. Put the image, put the thumbnail. You can write a description if you want, but you don't have to. And then once you click submit, it will pop up with something that will ask you questions about the drawing. So for example, if I was submitting, I apparently don't have the main normal drawing of Arden, So let's say I was submitting this as an attack. Like if I was someone else and I was submitting this as an attack to Empty Mask, right? You would put both Arden and Ambrose. You would tag them both as characters in the drawing, and then it'll ask you: is it a headshot? Is it a half body or a full body? This would be a half body. They got no feats. It'll ask you: is it sketched or is it actually like line art? This would be line art. Even though my line art is the same as my sketch, really. The sketchy line art still counts as line art. It will ask you if it is not coloured in or if it is coloured in. This is coloured in. And then it will ask you about shading. Basically, is it not shaded at all? Is there simple shading? Which I guess this would be simple shading, because there's a little bit, you know, I don't really shade much on my drawings, they just have like, they got a little bit of blush and whatnot. Or there's like more detailed shading, which is more like if you have a drawing that straight up is like, looks like a painting. You know, if you shade in that kind of like, oil painting kind of style, that would be a more complex kind of shading. And then they'll ask you about background. Is there no background? Is it just like a plain colour, simple background? Or did you draw like a full-ass room? And depending on those things, it will calculate how many points your drawing is worth. And then you get those points. If you ever want to check how many points in total you have, you're gonna go to your profile and you're gonna click on statistics. And it'll say over on this side here, the overall, this is how many points, this is how many things I've done every year combined. So 2022, 2023 combined. Your battle ratio is essentially like how many attacks you've had versus how many attacks you've made versus how many attacks you've received from other people. I haven't been very good at doing, I just haven't been able to get a lot of drawings done. By the way, thank you so much for the first time chat. Enough time from the, absolutely no worries. And again, like, if anyone wants to make you, because you won't be able to look at anything on the website unless you make an account, but you can just make an account and just be a spectator. You don't have to pick a team. But totally understand. I mean, I didn't have, I'd wanted to join in for many years. I only joined for the first time in 2022. And didn't get as much done as I wanted, because both years I've done art fight in the past, stuff has happened, like family emergencies or like just like shit that has made me have to like basically quit art fight halfway through the month. So I would like all of my fingers crossed for a very uneventful July. I do have con. Obviously the last week of July, so I won't be getting many drawings done that last week, but I will do my best to get, hopefully, at least 10. I want at least 10 done. Wait, this isn't right. Overall battle stats, this is my attacks is 9, but that's not right. Is it actually just showing last year's? Wait, did I miscount? I thought I did 9 each year. It says I've only done 9 attacks. Yeah, thank you, it is 18. Okay, well my stats page is... Oh, because it splits up attacks and friendly fire, I see. That's stupid. So... friendly fire... I forget they classified that differently. So, apparently, according to statistics... friendly fire is a type of attack, but for some reason, okay, art fight split it up separately. So, what art fight is counting here as an attack is when you draw something. Like I'm on Team Stardust, so if I drew something for Team Seafoam, like a Team Seafoam's character, that's an attack. But if I were to draw something for someone else on the same team as me, that's friendly fire. You get like half the amount of points. But I don't do it for the points. I'm still gonna draw characters for people that are on the same team as me. I don't pick who I'm drawing for based on what team they're on. It's just based on my friends and my girlfriend first, And then I want to try and get through any of you guys who have followed me on Artfight. Those of you who are in the Twitch chat, members of my Patreon, whatnot. I would like to try and at least give one attack out to you guys, and then any other random characters that I've saved and bookmarked that I think look really cool. But yeah, I've done 18 drawings for other people, but I've received 30. That's why my ratio is so low. But if you want to check how on track you are, once this year starts, this left hand, oh my god, this right hand column, is gonna start filling up with how many points you've done, how many points you've got this year and whatnot. And you'll get your little badges for your team at the end of the month. And some of you guys will start earning your regular badges, because you get a little badge for submitting your first attack, and this is a little badge for doing 10. I can't remember what more there are, but you guys will get your first badge soon for submitting your first attack. I forget. It's 1 and then 10, and then I don't know if there's one for like 100 or something. They do have their achievements listed. It doesn't like the page is working too well though. Okay, here we go. 1, 10, 35, 75, 100, 150, and 250. Virgil Drista, thank you so much for the follow, for becoming one of my children of the night. We are gonna get into it. It is Monday, so I will be getting into doing Etsy orders, but for now, we're talking about Artfight because it is the start of Artfight. If you don't know what Artfight is, it is a like monthly art event that happens every July, where everyone is split into 2 teams. You upload your own original characters to the website, and then people can quote-unquote attack you by drawing art of your characters, and by doing that they earn points for their team. So there's little badges, so we're looking at the achievements you can get. But let me Ow, why did that hurt? That was the tiniest little cough. Give me a second. But yeah, we're gonna switch to webcam in a second. And also for those of you who are new to Monday streams, when we do this, we listen to Welcome to Night Vale, which is a fictional horror comedy audio drama. And as much as it is silly, there is a lot of horror themes in it, mentions of violence and blood and spooky creatures and derealization and conspiracy theories and all that stuff. It's set in a cafe walk in. Happy first day of Artfight, although it's technically, again, it's not actually started yet. It's not actually started yet. Don't be starting yet. You got another like 5 hours. You have a Kevin cosplay? Oh my goodness. But yes, for anyone not familiar with Welcome to Night Vale, please be aware that it has all that stuff in it. It is set up as if we are listening to the fictional radio show of this fictional weird little town. And if anything in Night Vale is triggering or makes you uncomfortable, please feel free to stop listening to the stream or leave the stream once we start listening to Night Vale. I have listened to Night Vale all the way up to episode, like... I've been listening to Night Vale since 2013, something like that. But I dropped off around like episode 110, just because I was really busy with uni, and also it was the Hegemony 3-parter, and I really don't like those episodes. They were really like, I kept like, because it was like a 3-parter, I honestly kept forgetting what had happened in the previous parts, and I was like, I'm gonna have to re-listen to them again. And It was a combination of I was at university, so I was really busy at the time as well and kept forgetting when Night Vale came out, but that combined with I don't like these episodes, I just kind of stopped listening. I know they were trying something new with changing up the format, but I like when things are the same and predictable, and I really liked that it had the same format every time, so actually them changing up the format was really distressing to my little brain. But that is just to say, anyone who is familiar with Night Vale, I've personally only listened to, like, up to, like, episode 110. I'm aware of a few things that happen beyond that point, but please don't give spoilers for episodes further than that. But also, most people in chat, this is their first time listening to Night Vale. We've been starting from the beginning. We're currently in season 2. So do not give spoilers from beyond the episode that we are at, because people, this is a lot of people's in chat's first time experience listening to Night Vale. But welcome in. We do have a few people who this is their first stream. So I was trying to find my intro thing. So welcome in, my lovelies. If you don't know me already, you can call me Prince. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a neurodivergent trans vampire. You're welcome to become one of my children of the night. I'm an 18+ content creator, voice actor, and illustrator, as well as a VTuber and writer streamer. I post no, this is old. I post tri-weekly ASMR audio roleplays. We've gone back to 3 uploads a week. As various characters on YouTube, both fandom characters from things such as Baldur's Gate, Marvel, Arcane, Call of Duty, and more, as well as original characters and scenarios. I post 2 exclusive Not Safe for Work audios every month over on Patreon. All my socials are listed on my card if you type !socials in chat. And I also have an Etsy shop where I sell original art and fan art under the name Empty Masks, which is also why my art fight name is Empty Masks. We usually stream Mondays and Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays. I don't know if we're doing Fridays this week. Cause I got a lot of audios I need to record. I haven't been able to record anything last week because I'd gone through all the requests. I was waiting until July 1st so that I could get everyone's Patreon requests in. So I've got quite a few audios to catch up on recording. And what with Art Fight and whatnot, I'm thinking this month's streams are probably... in the middle of talking and you interrupted me with the kazoo. I don't remember what I was saying. I don't know. You can't interrupt me mid-sentence. I was so sad that I'm probably not gonna stream on Fridays. Well, that's a nice way of introducing people to the stream. Thank you for the redeem. Bunnies, you can spend your channel points here that you gain from watching stream, and you'll get extra of them by chatting. You can redeem them on many a thing. For example, kazoo karaoke. What is kazoo karaoke? It is exactly what it sounds like. I will perform a song, but instead of singing it, it will be on the kazoo, in remembrance of our dear former papa of the band Ghost, Terzo. For people not familiar with Ghost, it's a metal band, but they perform as characters, and, once upon a time, I guess we have to go over here now. Wait, just sit comfortably. Where is he? There he is. Once upon a time, Papa Emeritus III, aka Terzo, had to perform a acoustic version of the song Goulet, but seeing as it was acoustic, how were they going to do the keyboard solo? They couldn't just bring a whole piano into the room. So, he performed the solo on the kazoo. That's the story. So, we, in remembrance of him, since, for those that don't know Ghost Lord, that character has been killed off. That's not really, I mean, that happened years ago, but, you know, we mourn. The kazoo karaoke is a thing. Why do you guys always do this when there's new people in chat? We don't want to put them off. Why is Mori? Why? Oh yeah, Mori's broken, so he has to go over here when we're on this screen. But bunnies, what song would you like? You can pick. Oh, okay. Whenever anyone requests kazoo karaoke, the person who has redeemed it is 5,000 channel points. The person who's redeemed it gets to pick the song. I have. Where the fuck is the fucking list? As well as the regular kazoo list. Here we go. Okay. So as well as my kazoo list. Jesus, my brain. As well as the regular karaoke list that we have on streamer song list from when I actually do regular ass karaoke where I sing. I also have a list of ghost songs that I won't perform on regular karaoke because they're just not fun for me to sing. But I will perform on a kazoo. If you would like a ghost song, this is for bunnies, since you are the one who requested bunnies. If you would like a ghost song from the list that is on screen, you can pick one of those, or you can go over to the regular ass list and tell me what you would like from the regular list. Show the newbies the goodness that is this kazooie. I used to keep this further away, and now I keep it behind. It's just like behind the microphone now, the kazoo. While you think about what song you would like, I don't know if I had anything else to say about Art Fight. Have fun, mostly. As I say, like, please don't get upset if... Don't... When you attack someone, you know, when you send them a drawing, please don't, like, get upset and angry if they don't send you one in return. Some people will, some people won't. I am not guaranteeing that I will, like, revenge attack everyone who attacks me, just because I might not have the time. I'm gonna focus on attacking the people I want to personally attack first, and characters I want to draw from Julia and from friends and people that I follow and whatnot. And then after all of that, I may look at revenge attacks. But for the most part, I have my own hit list of people that I want to get to. Do not get angry with me or with anyone else if they do not draw one of your things. That's not the spirit of Art Fight. The spirit of Art Fight is just to have fun. And yeah, of course it's fun to get drawings of your own OCs as well. But there's plenty of people in chat taking part, you know? And if you are a member of my Patreon only Discord, feel free to share the link to your Art Fight profile in there. A lot of you already have. Go ahead, go and follow each other. There's plenty of people on Art Fight. If you attack enough people, one of them eventually is probably going to attack you back. It is just about having fun. Like, see it as a way to, like, take part of something, and also I see it as, like, a way to, practice, you know, drawing people's, and also, to try and get a bunch of drawing done without stressing too much, because I stress too much about drawing. I'm way too much imposter syndrome-y, perfectionistic about stuff. So Art Fight, I always try and use as a, just fucking draw some shit. Stop thinking so much about it, you know? You want Square Hammer? Okie dokie. Let me go find a karaoke track for it. I do have a couple new OCs on Art Fight, though. I love them very much. I may show you guys in a moment. But... yeah, I'm trying to think what I've been up to in the week that I haven't been streaming. Melting from the heatwave, mostly. Updating a bit of, you know, working on my website, and, Working a little bit more on the Castlevania stickers. I'm trying to draw 1 or 2 of them a day, and that way it doesn't seem so daunting, rather than just trying to do them all at once, day after day, non-stop. I'm just gonna try and do 1 or 2 every morning. What else? I don't know. I hope you guys. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the Secondo audio. When someone put the request in for that, I was very happy because he's my favorite. So that made me really happy that somebody requested him. I'm glad that people enjoyed the audio. More people are now like saying that I got to complete the group and I have to do Primo, but I'm like, I don't know what to do as him. He's just the sweet old grandpa of the group. So we'll see. Thank you so much for joining me, those of you in my Discord, for the watch party last night. That was the last one of the month. For those unaware, we do, I host watch parties for different shows, films, like, by shows, like, theatre shows, TV shows, films, etc. every Sunday of every, like, even-numbered month, because if I do them every month, it's too much, and especially I've already got Art Fight and Comic-Con coming up. I can't be doing the watch parties as well. So the next month of them will be in August. I'm torn between whether we're going to do another month of European musicals or I want to do a Sondheim month at some point. We'll do both of them eventually. It's just which one doing next. I might just wait till like a week before August and then see what I feel like. I think for the next group of because for those who don't know, European musicals, especially German musicals really in particular, my special interest, and I really like them a lot, and I know too much, so I have to get it out of me by cursing you with them. So we've been doing Watch Party since October. February we did German language musicals, and in April we did French language musicals. I'm not gonna keep splitting them up like that because I don't think I have enough. Well, there's not enough decent French ones to. There's enough French ones to just do French months, but I'm not subjecting you to most of them, especially not the 10 Commandments. No, I'm sorry. I did not good. I'm only gonna show you the ones that are either good, or at least, like, even if they're kind of bad, at least they're, like, interesting. French Dracula musical. So, in the future, it's more just, there's just gonna be a mix. Also because there's ones, in languages that aren't French and German, but I only have, like, one of. Like, I only have one Russian, no, 2 Russian musicals that I have English subtitles for. And obviously that doesn't make up a whole month. And again, whenever we watch them, it is with English subtitles. I don't expect people to know a bunch of other languages. So I was thinking for the next group of non-English language musicals, and the reason why I love non-English language musicals so much as well is just because, like, I'm not talking about, like, German productions of Phantom of the Opera. I'm talking about, like, German original musicals, because so many people don't realize that every country does have its own musical theatre, and a lot of them are really, really good, and they never make it to Broadway or the West End. And so most of, you know, they'll get popular across Europe, and they'll get popular in Japan and South Korea. And quite a few of them will have European tours or Asian tours, but recently, did you go and watch Dragonlance all by yourself? I do not remember that you did that. But let's be sure I thought. Yeah, I just think, like, they're cool. I would like more people to know about them, especially the ones that are very, very gay. So, I think the next group would be, because the next group I would try and pick ones that are, like, I've already shown my personal favorites and the ones that I think are the best, out of German and French, but there's some that I really like that are in neither of those languages. So one of my favorite, definitely what we would watch in the next, like, group of 4, and I love the Dutch Three Musketeers musical. It's so good. I think it's really sweet. And the set pieces are insane. For such, like, this little musical from the Netherlands, they bring a whole ass massive fucking ship on the stage. It's on stage for one song at the beginning of the second act, and they pelt rain down on them because they're in a thunderstorm. What the fuck? And then you never see the boat, this massive ship again, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I love that musical. So definitely in the next chunk would be the Dutch Three Musketeers musical. I have it on DVD. It's one of the musicals I have on DVD, and it's one of the few European musicals that doesn't have fan-made subtitles because it has official subtitles. The DVD comes with official Dutch, German, and English subtitles. Mwah. I could kiss it. And that came out in 2003. There's European musical DVDs coming out now. Like, there's a 2005 DVD of Elizabeth and a 2015 DVD of Mozart and the German Mozart musical. They don't have official subtitles on them. I mean, they might in German. I'm not 100% sure about that, though. Yeah, whole ship. It's so cool. So definitely the Dutch Three Musketeers musical. Which will have someone people might recognize in it, because as Milady de Winter, playing Milady de Winter is Pia Dowers, who is the original Elizabeth from Elizabeth Das musical, and we also watched as Mrs. Danvers in Rebecca Das musical. She's amazing. She's not German, she's Dutch. She's the queen of European musicals in my brain. She's amazing. She's amazing. And who plays Cardinal Richelieu? Stanley Burleson, which you haven't seen, but if you're an Elizabeth nerd like me, because that's my biggest interest, is specifically Elizabeth Das musical. He was in the original Dutch production of Elizabeth. He played de Todd. So it's nice seeing them on stage together. And then when the Three Musketeers musical got translated into German and went to Germany, oh no, guys, I'm rambling. You shouldn't let... This is a mistake. I'm not allowed to talk about European musicals because I will just info dump. When it had its German production, Pia stayed playing Milady de Winter, and Uwe Kruger was cast as Cardinal Richelieu, aka the original de Todd from the original Vienna production. Sad thing, there's no bootleg recording of the two of them together. There's no recording at all. They're on the cast album, and you can see them together there's photos of them together, and there's like one like clip of them, of Pia and Uwe as Milady and the Cardinal, from like a trailer. But there's no pro shot of the German production, and the only bootlegs of the German production with Pia has Ethan Freeman as Richelieu, because he took over after Uwe left. Ethan Freeman being the original Lukenny from Elizabeth Das musical. And one of my favourite people to ever play Eric from Phantom of the Opera. Or the one bootleg there is with Uwe, it's Pia's understudy, who is on stage with him. So sad. Sorry for the... I will connect everything for the music account. I'm going to connect everything to Elizabeth. So whatever. We're going to watch the Three Musketeers one. And then... we're going to have to watch Rudolph. Which is in German. Not about the reindeer, but in fact, the very same Rudolph that is in Elizabeth Das musical, Elizabeth's son, Crown Prince Rudolph. Because he has a musical as well. It's by Frank Wildhorn, the same creator of the Jekyll and Hyde musical, of the Dracula musical, of the Death Note musical, of the Scarlet Pimpernel musical, of the Count of Monte Cristo, of the Bonnie and Clyde musical, and many more. He went and decided to make a Rudolph musical, which was actually originally he produced it in Hungary first, and then in Vienna. Which has Drew Sarich as Rudolph. For any of my, anyone I've converted to be a fan of Drew Sarich, aka the person we always watch as Krolok in Tanz die Vampire. And it's Weird Snowman. Anyone who's in my European Musicals Discord, the one tradition we have is that I always change the Discord's server icon to a close-up of the snowman's face every winter. And it scares people every year. I'm so sorry. The Rudolph musical also, you know, if I had a nickel for every time Uwe Kruger played a character in a musical where he torments, like mentally torments, Crown Prince Rudolph of Austria. So it also has Uwe Kruger, the original de Todd from Elizabeth Das Musical. And in Elizabeth Das Musical, you know, his character seduces and torments Rudolph. In the Rudolph musical, he doesn't seduce, but does torment Rudolph. So we'd watch Three Musketeers, we'd watch Rudolph, and then Artus Excalibur, I'm thinking as well, which is another Frank Wildhorn musical. It's in German. It's about King Arthur. Who's playing Arthur? I mean, you won't have seen Patrick in anything, but it has Mark Seibert as Lancelot, who I have complained about before is because I don't like his characterization of de Todd in the 2012 production of Elizabeth. But I have praised also because he's my favourite Fiyero in Wicked. He was the original German Fiyero. He's also played Maxim recently in the Vienna revival of Rebecca, which I haven't actually seen him in. He's played Prologue as well. But you'll get to see Mark Sabat for the first time, and his gorgeous voice. Oh, you know, which you have seen. Duh, he plays Colorado in Mozart Das Musical in the 2015 revival. Sorry, you've seen him shirtless before. I forgot about that. I forgot about Mozart. So he's playing Lancelot. It has Annemieke van Dam as Guinevere, who you won't have seen in any of the stuff I've shown, but she played Elizabeth opposite Mark in the 2012 revival of Elizabeth. It has Sabrina Verkelin as Morgana, and I love Sabrina Verkelin's voice so much. She's played Elphaba in Wicked in Germany, and was Constance in the German production of the Three Musketeers musical. Opposite Patrick's, who played D'Artagnan in the German production. And it has Thomas Borchert as Merlin, who in the stuff I've streamed, you guys will have seen as Mozart's father in the Mozart musical, in the German Mozart musical, I have to specify. But he's also he took over from Lou Kenny in Elizabeth Das musical after Ethan Freeman left, and then also understudied Uwe as de Todd. And he's played Maxim in Rebecca as well. And he's played Krolok a bunch of times. I can't remember who else is in the cast of that musical. That's the main group. Imagine the corkboard string connecting all these people. I'm the Always Sunny Charlie meme where he's at the fucking, you know, everything's connected board, but that's me with German musicals and just knowing which of the cast members in the musicals have also been in Elizabeth. I can't help it. Elizabeth Das musicals my special interest. I can't mention any other musical without also listing off which cast members have also been in Elizabeth. I know too much. I've consumed so much German musical theatre because I just love it so much that I'm like, oh yeah, this is also everything else that they've done. It's so bad because, like, I never used to, be able to, like, recognize people by their singing voices, if they weren't English. I could never recognize someone's speaking voice if they weren't English. Like, if someone was speaking German, I'm like, I don't know who that is. And especially across different languages, and then I got into European musicals, and these fucking men, I can recognize Mark Seibert's voice, whether he's singing English or German, and whether he's speaking in English or German. That's never happened before. But this is the tone of their voices. I'm just like, yep. If you put all of like the German production of Elizabeth on shuffle and played me a track and was like, which Todd is this? I'd know. Even though it's not in a language that I speak. Hi Moth, welcome in. Wait, I was meant to be someone redeemed Kazoo karaoke. I haven't done it yet, okay? So that's why I'm like this right now. We are getting to it. Sorry. We're talking about what we're going to do for the next watch party. So if it's European musicals, oh my god. This is why I'm not allowed to talk about European musicals, because I'll just go into too many rants. We can rant about it once I've finished work. We'll be watching... The next time we do a European musical watch party month in the Discord, it'll be Artist Excalibur, which is in German, Rudolf Mailing, which is in German, Three Musketeers, which is in Dutch, and then for number 4, I would like us to watch Demon on Aegin, which is in Russian. I hope people enjoy it. It has Ivan Ostrogin as Onegin, aka the Russian Krolok that's like the giant man, the giant Russian Grafon Krolok man, and Veda, who's playing she's called Tatiana. I fucking can't remember the character's name. I think she's called Tatiana. I fucking don't. She's played Sarah in the Russian production of Dance Vampire as well. Bal Vampirov is what it's called in Russian. Essentially Ball of Vampires. It might not be I mean, I was gonna say it might not be the most popular Russian musical. It's well liked by people who are fans of Russian musicals. In terms of original Russian musicals, Dragonlance is probably more known, and then Master and Margarita. I really like Demon on Again. I would show Master and Margarita, but I do not have any English subtitles for it. No one's made any English subtitles for it, but I do have English subtitles for Demon on Again. Based off the book, The Demon of Onegin. When I streamed it in my European Musicals Discord a couple years ago, the other people that were watching it with me couldn't keep track of the plot and were confused by it. I was not confused by the plot. I spent like the whole time having to like explain what was going on. I've never read the book and I've never watched the musical before, but I understood the plot pretty well. Like, so I don't know if that was just a me thing. I didn't find it confusing. Is it the best like musical in ever? No, but very pretty costumes, and Onegin's like inner demon is represented through an actual actor who looks androgynous as fuck, and there's a whole scene where Tatiana has like a fucking nightmare and he dances over her on the bed shirtless and like it's good music. The plot is essentially Eugene Onegin moves into town and Tatiana falls in love with him, but he continuously rejects her advances whenever she tries to ask him out. He also ends up having a duel, get into a fucking silly argument and a duel with one of his friends, which ends up with him shooting his friend, and then he feels shitty about it and he leaves. And after he's left, he realizes he does love Tatiana and he was being an asshole to her, and he goes back and she's already married. I don't think that plot's complicated to follow. Is it the most interesting? No, but I think it's really pretty. And I think the demon actor dancer, he only dances, he doesn't have any lines. I think he's really cool. I think it's really pretty. So those would be the next 4 European musicals that we would watch. And then, or we do Sondheim, in which case we would watch, we wouldn't have to resort to bootlegs because it'd have pro shots of, Company with Raul Esparza as Bobby. aka Chilton from Hannibal. My stinky baby boy. Follies. Sweeney Todd and Into the Woods. It's just whichever one I feel like doing first. So I guess I'll decide closer to the time. Obviously I've rambled a whole lot more about European musicals, but that's just because that's just me. That's my personality. Okay. But I do want to watch the Sondheim ones too. I think it'll be nice to show people, especially people not that familiar with Sondheim, to show off how talented of a composer he was. Obviously most people are familiar with Sweeney Todd, maybe also Into the Woods. But there's a hell of a lot more Sondheim musicals than those. I'm picking those four because Into the Woods and Sweeney Todd are probably like... Sweeney Todd's probably the easiest to watch, even though it's horror, but I mean in terms of like the least complicated, and least metaphorical. It's very straightforward, like, there's a man and he kills people and then his roommate turns him into pies, you know, it's Sweeney Todd. Whereas, Into the Woods, which is my favourite, one of my favourite musicals and my favourite Sondheim musical. If you've only seen the Disney film, then you haven't actually got to experience Into the Woods. Because the Disney movie cut out a lot of stuff that it really matters to the plot. I love Into the Woods so much. Oh, it makes me so emotional. It's one of the first musicals that I got into. Like, I didn't see many stage musicals as a kid, but I found the pro shot on YouTube of Into the Woods when I was like maybe 15. Life-changing. And we would watch the pro shot of the original Broadway cast, so Bernadette Peters is the witch. But stuff like... So, there's two characters missing from the Disney movie. One being the narrator. There is a narrator. He stands off to the side of the stage and, like, narrates the whole plot, and... I remember gasping the first time the plot twist happens with him. I just remember being like, oh my god! And I don't want to spoil. I can't. I want to tell you why, but I can't because I can't spoil it. Because it's so good. And then the mysterious man, which is the baker's father, who, you know, supposedly had died in a baking accident. But he didn't. He just ran off. He just ran away. Yes, I've seen Rocky Horror. I personally, I really love the 2014, like London Pro Shop. That's normally what I watch, with David Badella as Frank. My one tradition is I normally watch that every Halloween. Which, if you haven't seen David Badella as Frankenfurter, I forgot what I was talking about. Right, Into the Woods. Yes. And there is a character who Disney makes not die. And I get why Disney didn't kill them off, because Disney couldn't make... Into the Woods is dark, okay? It's the dark musical. When Into the Woods is done in schools, they just get rid of the second act. They only perform the first act, because the first act ends happy ever after, and then the second act, everything goes to shit. Is the plot of Into the Woods. It's a bunch of fairy tales crossing over, but everything goes to shit. But it is still funny. And I don't think, again, what people don't realize with the Disney movie, Into the Woods is a comedy. It's really fucking funny. But the Disney movie's not, is it? You wouldn't know it's a I get so angry with the Disney movie. You wouldn't know it's meant to be funny. It's... Also they made a wolf a human instead of a furry. What the fuck was that about? But yeah, there's a character who doesn't die in the Disney one. I don't really want to necessarily say who it is. It's not a super big plot spoilers. Like, I'm not going to spoil what happens with the narrator, because that's such a good moment. But I will say, slight spoilers. It is spoilers, but it's not going to, like, ruin the show. But cover your ears if you don't want to hear. In the stage version, the original version, Rapunzel fucking dies. She doesn't live. She dies. She gets trampled by the giant. And you may be like, what the fuck? But that's fucked up. Yeah, it is. It's meant to be. And I know you may be like, but then if Rapunzel dies, hasn't that just proved the witch was right to keep her locked inside? It's like, no, it's more complicated than that. The point is that it's not that, oh, well, see, the witch was right, it's dangerous outside, Rapunzel should have stayed locked up. It's like, no, the point is, the only reason why Rapunzel runs off and basically directly into the foot of the giant is because she was locked in that tower. She has no idea how to actually live in the outside world. Everything frightens her. She's like in a constant state of like panic attack all the goddamn time. She doesn't know how to interact with anyone. She doesn't know everything. The point is not if she'd stayed in the tower she wouldn't have gotten killed. The point was she wouldn't have gotten killed if she had never been locked up in the tower, because she would have known how to navigate the world. The only reason that she died is because of being locked in that tower. If you see her death as like, well, see, you should have stayed inside, that's not what you're supposed to take from that. I get very passionate about Into the Woods. You also, if you've only seen the Disney movie, didn't get the Agony Reprise where the prince sing about different princesses and cheating on their wives. But the Agony Reprise is really good. And they slowed down Your Fault, which is one of my favorite songs from the musical. It's meant to be faster than that. Yeah, oh yeah, there's an Agony Reprise. They find, Snow White and, Sleeping Beauty. Also, traditionally, in almost every production of Into the Woods, as is the original, the Wolf and Cinderella's Prince are played by the same actor. Just this extra little, you know. Yeah, I love Into the Woods a lot. And for the movie to cut out the narrator, I get, like, well, obviously it's like, well, how do you do the narrator on a film? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's why it's not suited to be a movie. And then to do, to cut out the Mysterious Man, which, again, the Mysterious Man is normally played by the same actor as the narrator. But for the movie to cut out No More, which is the Baker's song about, basically, he sings near the end about basically ending the cycle of abuse, because his father abandoned him realizing, like, I can't abandon my child, you know? It's character development turning point for him. I mean, don't get me wrong, would I have wanted to see James Corden sing it? No. But it's kind of important. If you like the Disney movie, this is not to shit on it. I'm not calling it a bad movie. It's just not the best adaptation of the source material, but it was never gonna be, because obviously Disney don't want to make it that dark. I mean, because it's Disney. They can't go as dark and messed up as Into the Woods is. I don't think it's a bad movie, I just think it loses some of the actual meaning of the musical, the stage musical, because of how much it cuts out and what specifically it cuts out. So anyway, we'd watch Into the Woods. Sweeney Todd will probably watch the same version we watched back at Halloween with Emma Thompson as Mrs. Lovett. Not just because I think she's my favourite Mrs. Lovett. But I really like Anthony and Joanna in that version. I think it's really cute. It's got Audra McDonald, the legend that is Audra McDonald, as the beggar woman. And it has good old Christian Bale as Senor Pirelli. And I can't deprive us all of more Christian Bale. Company, we'd watch the 2003 revival. Here's the thing, I was torn with Company about which revival we'd watch, because the one with Neil Patrick Harris has the whole New York Philharmonic Orchestra. Jody, I wondered if that would get you to to say something. I was like, I'm gonna say Christian Bale and I'm gonna see if Jody mentions anything in chat. However, I don't feel anything from Neil Patrick Harris's Bobby. A good Bobby needs to make me cry during being alive, and the only person who does that for me is Raul Esparza. Which is fine, because I love Raul Esparza as an actor, who a lot of people might know. If you don't watch musicals so much, he played Raphael Barber in many a season of Law & Order SVU, and Frederick Chilton in Hannibal. My terrible baby girl Razor. Thank you so much for the resub. Please continue to enjoy your emotes and your ad-free viewing. I haven't even got to COD yet. I haven't even got to Kazoo Karaoke. Oh my god, I've been rambling about what we're gonna do for the next Discord watch party. Welcome in. Happy Monday, I hope you had a good weekend. Happy first day of Art Fight. Although Art Fight doesn't start for another 4 hours. Still. I'm in karaoke limbo for a bit while I ramble. But for those who've only seen Raul Esparza in like Hannibal, he's got a gorgeous singing voice. He was, if you've ever listened to the original cast recording of Tick Tick Boom, not the movie, the actual original stage cast recording, he was the original, Jonathan. Sorry, for some reason I'm stimming with my cane right now and swinging it around by its wrist strap, and I don't know why, it banged into the desk. I shouldn't do that. You have stim toys and then you end up just swinging your cane around the room and accidentally hurting yourself. Company and Follies are the ones where I worry that people won't like them as much. Into the Woods and, shh, don't judge me! Company and Follies are the ones where I'm a bit more like... They're like, I don't know how to phrase it. I don't want to say less easily accessible. They're more complex, I guess, than Into the Woods, but that's not to say that in Sweeney Todd, that's not to say those musicals aren't complex. Millie, I'm not sure if as many people are going to enjoy them. They're not as fantastical and stuff, you know, so like, Company... I'm trying to think about how to summarize the plot really quickly. Bobby is turning 35, it's his birthday. And he's friends with a bunch of different married couples, and they all come round and they celebrate his birthday, but it's really looking at Bobby. Bobby's like, he's single and he's got a few different girlfriends he's fooling around with, but it's really about him realizing, like, because he's like, I don't want to be in love or get married, but it's really about him realizing he does actually want to be in love and have someone, and that he is lonely, and that's the musical. But specifically, the only reason why I hesitate with this revival is I just don't like the staging. But I know that's just a me thing. So sometimes musicals decide to do minimalist staging where they have the actual actors on stage also be the band, also be the orchestra. And that Company revival is one of them. I think it works okay for Company because it's just in like an apartment the whole time anyway. Oh, is it a common thing to spin the canes around? Like we're trying to spinning it in my hand. But so I've just got like it like pressed against the ground, and I'm just like, I have one finger in the wrist strap, and I'm just letting it swing at an angle. For some reason this is amusing me. Or I'm pulling it into my hand and letting it go. Basically I'm using it like a yo-yo. It's essentially what I'm doing. But Raul Esparza's got a gorgeous voice. And but yeah, this production has the actual cast members also be the orchestra, which is, on one hand I'm like, because it's not as big of a fuller sound of an orchestra, because obviously some of those characters have got to be singing, so that's one less instrument in the orchestra when they're singing. But I feel like it works with Company, because it's such a tight-knit little cast, whereas when they did that with the fucking Sweeney Todd revival, As much as I like Michael Service's Sweeney Todd, I don't love them playing their own instruments and stuff. I don't think it really works with Sweeney Todd. I'm personally not a fan of that kind of staging at all. I prefer big sets and big orchestras, not minimalist sets and tiny little bands on stage, but I know that's just a me personal thing. Some people really love minimalist staging. I know that's just my own little opinion. And then I also have the Pro Shot of Follies, which is like, oh god, I'm trying to describe musical plots without going to Wikipedia. Essentially, a group of actors having like a reunion at the little Folly, the kind of burlesque show that they used to work at. And them all reminiscing. The second act is them actually performing like big kind of actual like musical numbers as if they were back. In that time, so there's some fun numbers in it. But also, two of the characters reuniting who went off and married different people but had feelings for each other and stuff like that. Which, you know, it's not like... I like Follies. I'm just thinking it's like, I don't know if that will be as fun for everyone to watch, seeing that it's not like a massive big old spectacle musical. It's something a bit more... I don't know if serious is the right word. But I also want to show you guys a wide range of musicals. So I don't know. But yeah, well, sorry, this was a whole rant. We'll do both of those watch party months at one point. It's just which one's gonna be next. I don't know. I keep getting Being Alive stuck in my head. So we'll see. I'm sorry for rambling for so long. I just wanted to thank people for coming to the watch party yesterday. And then it became this. This is why I have to put Night Vale on Monday streams. Otherwise I talk for too long. This is what happens every single time. This is why I have to have the microphone, the Night Vale. Don't know why I said microphone. This is why we have Welcome to Night Vale on Mondays. Because if I just have music on, I will just ramble for too long and I won't get any work done. Especially if I'm allowed to mention musical theatre. We're kind of here to hear you I mean, I guess, but also, I have to get Etsy done. It's literally my job. So I do also have to get that done. I am kind of in wait mode though today, I will admit, until Art Fight starts. So we'll see, but it's two in time. I hope Bunnies is still here. I'm sorry I told myself. I should have got this out of the way first. Let me road test one of these karaoke tracks. I'm sorry I haven't been doot-dooting. God, this is gonna get in my head for the rest of the day. Anytime I thought about the Goofy, you know, because it was called Right Here, Right Now, and so, which is a line from Square Hammer, anytime I saw a Goofy poster, or anything about the Goofy, Square Hammer would just get in my head for the rest of the day. I know you guys can't hear the karaoke track, it's because I can hear it. I'm just testing what audio to have the volume in before I blast everyone's ears off. I'm so happy that Kazoo Karaoke will be some people's introduction to Ghost. Oh, that's right, Moth, you've just started getting into Ghost. Oh my god, you probably aren't familiar with the acoustic performance of Goulet. With the masterpiece that's right here. in Tizzle We Trust. We're gonna see how well we do. I have not ever sung Square Hammer before. I've listened to Square Hammer a lot, but that doesn't mean that in front of an audience, when I have to perform it, even on a kazoo that I'll actually fucking remember. Hopefully I remember the melody. If this is your first kazoo karaoke, welcome in, I guess. What better introduction to stream than me rambling about musicals and then playing a ghost song on the kazoo. Toot toot. I have no idea how well this is gonna go. I have not practiced this at all. Hi, Blaze. Welcome in. Thank you, bunnies, for redeeming kazoo karaoke. Oops. The kazoo's fine. I didn't mean to hit it. Well, well, well. How long have we been streaming for? An hour and a half? If you too would like to redeem kazoo karaoke, it is on a cooldown, so it can be redeemed every 30 minutes, so it's probably cooled down by now. It is 5,000 channel points. Channel points are free, anyone can earn them.
I was just wondering when you'd invite me back for a bite.
Jen, thank you for the hydrate. welcome in. If you would like to redeem Zoo Karaoke yourself and request a song one day, you just need to earn up the points. Thank you for the hydrate, Virgil. You just need to earn up the points, channel points, are free to earn. You earn them by, just watching stream. Sometimes you get bonuses if, the more you chat as well, I do believe, I think. But for the most part, yeah, it's just from watching stream. I have to become a little guy when we do Kazoo, that's just the rules. Oh, let me get rid of the... There, okay. Everything's normal now.
Come on, get up.
I'll get up. Whoa, you forget all the emotes carry over. That's right. I also wanted to talk about my new children. I made new children. Teehee. I'll talk while I stretch. Basically, what happened was, I'm not gonna go on the whole rant about. Oh no, it's gonna happen, isn't it? I love Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey is the start of the story. I've loved him for many a year. If people have only seen the original movie, you might not know he's not a villain. The reason why the reason why people die is because of the people in charge, the fucking company in charge of him messing with his fucking code and essentially breaking his brain. In the sequel, book, and movie, another ship goes up and finds him and fixes him, and he ends up sacrificing himself to save everyone. I love him very much. Okay? I'm a HAL 9000 defender. And that's just always been the case. And then, a few months ago, I found out about a little movie from the 80s, like a little B sci-fi movie called Electric Dreams. For those who don't know, Hal is a robot. He's like an AI, that is, like, kind of installed into a spaceship. The way that he appears is kind of as this long rectangle with this singular, like, camera lens with a red, glowing kind of eye light in the middle of it. And that's what he looks like. He doesn't have an android body or anything like that. He's just like that little rectangle and the eyeball. Doesn't look like an eyeball, but you know what I mean. And then I found out about Electric Dreams, in which a guy buys a computer, a PC, and accidentally like spills coffee on it, and it makes him alive. It makes the computer sentient. I love him. He's called Edgar. I love him very much. Again, he's not really evil. He's just misunderstood. What happens with Edgar, which again, Electric Dreams is like free to watch on YouTube if you want to spend time doing that. It's definitely more watchable, I guess, in 2001. I understand if people can't sit through all of 2001. Little Edgy, he falls in love with a human lady. Uh-oh! But he's just a computer that's alive. Yeah. Well, also, Miles, the guy who owns the PC, also is in love with the same human lady. And, Edgar really wants to love her lesbian, and because he can, like, she lives in, like, the apartment above or whatever, so he can, like, hear her practicing a cello and whatnot. And he really likes her, and he starts writing, like, poetry and love songs about her. Because he's such a talented little guy. And what does Miles do? He takes those songs and shows them to the lady and says that he wrote them. And she falls in love with him via this music and poetry that she thinks Miles wrote, but really Edgar wrote it. So Edgar gets upset, as one would. And apparently now he's, like, evil because he's upset. I mean, okay, he does attack Miles a little bit, but Miles is ultimately fine, and Edgar realizes the error of his ways, and realizes that, you know, he I guess you don't really fall in love with someone that fast, but he really still wants to fall in love, and he gets rid of himself at the end, and it was really sad. He's just a silly guy. Okay? But whatever, so I was just browsing the Electric Dream tags looking for Art of Edgar, as one does. And, I see the tag Objectum and I didn't know what it meant, and I went down a rabbit hole. I do not know what counts as I'm like, does me liking Edgar and Hal count as that? Because they're fully sentient. So Objectum is like, attraction to like objects, right? And it's not something that I'm gonna make fun of, and it's not something I want to see anyone else making fun of. But so like, if I have a crush on Hal, like he's not an object. I get he just looks like a computer, but like he's sentient, so I don't know. But then I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't count because he's a full person. And then I have to take a step back and realize, Prince, there's loads of people who would not be attracted to something that looks like a computer, no matter how pretty of a voice it has, and no matter how much you like the personality. Most people would draw a hard pass at the fact that it looks like a computer, and I'm like, really? But his voice is pretty, and he's cool. But then I have to remember, like, I'm very demisexual and romantic, and appearance really is not something that matters much to me at all. I'm like, but as long as they got the pretty voice and a cool personality, that's all that really matters to me. So I don't know if that counts. But point is, because of that, I'd been wanting to make a character. I've been wanting to make my own little robot character, that was not like an android, that just had like a PC sort of body. So I have no OCs. If you look at my art fight, the two, I put them at the front because they're my current babies. Hi, Hasta, welcome in. You don't need context. It's fine. So I have these little guys. Because then I was also thinking, like, oh, it's raining, but I don't want to close my window. You know, a lot of robot romances are pretty sad because they always fall in love with humans, and then the humans aren't immortal like the robot, and that's really sad. So, what if I gave him an immortal boyfriend? So, this is Barnaby and Oscar. Barnaby is the vampire, Oscar is the computer. But he's a fully, like, sentient AI. He just lives in the computer. He has his eyes, this little kind of little bar, and the little piece of red, depending on like if he's looking to the right or the left, like moves along, and then the bar can kind of move depending on his emotion. And I just think that they're both an art fight. I love them. I finally have, when I first drew Barnaby, and I sent him to Drew. So I'd wanted a character called Barnaby for a while, and then I drew this guy out, and I was like, I think this is gonna be Barnaby. I sent Julia this is what I drew first, as my first ever concept sketch of him, and I was like, I'm not gonna add the mouth, it's just a tiny sketch, and then I did a stupid mouth, and I'm like, oh, okay, never mind, I think this mouth has to stay. Julia's a big fan of this doofy little guy. Also it's because he has the Victor Arcane, Simon Petrikov hairstyle. Finally, I have given one of my OCs that hairstyle. I also have never done a vampire who actually has like grey skin before, but I was like, for some reason I'm feeling it. So, it has a little bit of plot. I'm not gonna read it all out. You can go look on Artfight or my toy house if you want to know about them. Essentially, they meet in the 80s, which is why he looks like an 80s computer. Specifically, I looked at a lot of IBM models, but I changed up quite a bit. I really wanted, like, the keyboard to be attached. I didn't want a separate keyboard, so he's got, like, a keyboard that's all attached to him. Because I didn't want to exactly copy an existing computer model. So that's why it looks like an 80s PC, because he was built in the 80s, and they did meet in the 80s, but Also, if you want to draw how they look in the present day, because they still be together in the present day. That's why there's little drawings of like the kind of like the little hardware changes. Also, for anyone who noticed, I don't know if anyone recognized what Barnaby's wearing around his wrist, but he is wearing a static wristband, which, for anyone who's ever built a PC or messed around with electronics, put one of those on. You need to be wearing a static wristband and clip it onto something so that it just protects you from getting thunderbolted. So he's wearing that, because, you know, what if he wants to touch his boyfriend? I don't know, I should have been wearing green, you're okay. I lived dangerously and built my PC with that one. Whoa. Guys, we got some real rebels in chat. It's fine, I don't think me and my dad wore any when we built this, but also I was a child when I built this PC. Or helped my dad build it, so I wouldn't have known any better. Tiny little detail that it doesn't say anywhere, but if you look at Oscar, he actually has this little red dot. You can't see it. My glass of definitely wine is in the way. He's got a little red dot on his enter key, cause I'm a fucking sab. If they were to get married, it's not like Oscar can wear a ring, so he might have a rhinestone embedded in his enter key as a sign of commitment, because they wanted something. That might be what that is. I'm a dork, if you didn't already tell. Especially for robots, so that's why that's there. But I just think they're neat. So those are my new babies. This is Julie. I want to drop Julia's art fight link in chat as well. I'm gonna put the art fight command up again. I'm gonna drop Julia's link in chat as well. Julia, which, I mean, if you go to my art fight profile, you can see I made the stumps anyway, but Julia is my partner. She is also on art fight. If you would give her a follow as well and consider throwing some attacks her way, that would mean an awful lot. She's very excited. She's at work right now, but by the time she gets home, she'll get home maybe like an hour before art fight starts. She's very excited. Both of our goals being 10 attacks, was not intentional. It's just, 2022 I drew 9, 2023 I drew 9. I would like to at least make it to 10, so that's a new record. And for Julia, in 2022 she did 10. Last year she only did 1, so she wants to at least match and do 10 again. Hi, Haunting. It do be art fight. What are we at now? 3 hours and 20 minutes until art fight begin. The template. Oh, the ID thing? Okay. So, if you want to get into art fight and understand art fight, if you look at the top bar of the website and you go to help, I would recommend reading the about page, the rules, and the FAQ. And then if you want any of the shit to, like, put on your little page, you're gonna go to art assets. If the website lags, it's because a lot of people are last minute signing up. You can sign up after the event starts. You'll just be put in a random team instead of getting to pick one. I presume you'll just be put on the team that has fewer members. So you're going to go to the art assets page, you're going to scroll down to where it says Seafoam Stardust, and you're going to click on the show button. And they're right here. And you're just gonna, they're already like transparent cutouts where the character profile and your profile picture is gonna go. So you can just put that in whatever program you use and just slide your pictures underneath it. And also, again, as I said, I already explained attacking earlier. Once the event starts, where you click submit character, once the event opens, you're going to click submit and there'll be an extra button that says attack. And if you want help knowing about how to, I mean, obviously the website will summarize points for your attack, but they also, if you gotta help and you go to attack characterization, there is a whole guide of what, how to categorize your attack if you haven't done this before and you don't know what constitutes as a half body, what's a full body, etc. And also there's different, because some people submit animations, some people you can submit, you know, it doesn't have to be a drawing, it can be a photograph of like a sculpture you've made, of an actual physical like painting, can be a 3D model, it can be an animation. Some people have made games before, like little dress-up games. But for most of us, we're gonna go to drawn slash painted. And it's gonna give you examples of how to determine like if it's a rough sketch, because you're allowed to submit rough sketches. They don't have to be big finished colored pieces of art. They can be a rough sketch with no line art and no coloring. If that's all you've got the energy to do, you can just submit a bunch of sketches. So you're gonna mark, once you click submit, so you know you'll upload the picture, you'll upload the thumbnail, you're gonna put in the person's username, and you're gonna put in the character ID number of the character you're attacking. You can draw multiple characters in the same attack, and you can draw multiple characters by different people in the same attack. Like if you want to draw, for example, like one of my characters with one of Julie's characters, that would be a-okay. Check people's character permissions. Some people don't like to have their characters drawn with other people's characters. I do not give a shit. You can draw my characters with whoever the fuck you want. I don't mind. Unless it's my VTube model. Please don't draw my VTube model with anyone other than either my own characters or Julia. But like if you want to draw Ambrose with one of your OCs, go ahead. I don't give a shit. You would just, and you can tag your own character. I'm pretty sure you can tag your own character in it. Maybe you can't. I don't remember. I'd have to, hang on, I can check. Let me look at my own, because I drew my OC Vlad with Julie's OC Niles last year. Yes, you can tag your own character. Obviously, you won't get any points for that. But yeah, you can tag your own character as well. So whether it's a sketch, whether it's line art, even if it's like kind of sketchy-ish line art, and then obviously if it's not coloured in, if it is very roughly coloured in, or if it is like full-on like super shaded, painted, you know, I didn't mean to say shaded. I didn't mean to say shaded. But these are counted as rough colour because either it's like black and white, or like in this case there's like one piece of colour, or like this isn't actually like in the lines, you know? And then you've got, is it actually properly fully coloured in? And then you've got, is it not shaded at all? Does it have a little bit of shading? And then is it like a full-on painting kind of shaded? And then if you've got either no background or just like a plain colour background, you got, does it have like a kind of some sort of pattern background? You got, did you give them, even if there's no background, but it's like, if you drew someone like riding a motorcycle but there's no background, that still gets you extra points because you drew a whole ass motorcycle. So props, scene elements, design layout, and then obviously if you actually drew a full ass like forest or like a room or whatever. And so like, you know, no background is worth less points than if you drew a whole bedroom. Or like uncolored is worth less points than if you fully shaded it. And you don't need to add up the points yourself. There'll be a thing that pops up, you'll tick whether it's colored in, whether it's a half body, a full body, you know. An Artfight will calculate the points for you. You don't gotta do math. Fear not. But yeah, they have a little guide as well for like, I appreciate that the guide actually has both human and feral. So headshot is the light pink area, half body would be from the top, you know, from the light pink all the way down to the end of the purple, and then a full body is from the top of the pink to the bottom of the blue. Also, there is a category for simple-shaped character. For example, if your character is just a blob, or like my OCQ, he's classed as simple-shaped, because he's just a circle with a triangle and then a stick, but like a tube for a body. So if your character is literally just like, it's just an apple, that would count as its own simple-shaped character. Because that was obviously not as complex to draw as a full person. Headshot is just a head, and then a half body, and then a full body. But like, for example, my OC Mercutio, that would not count as a simple-shaped character. But like Q, oh, you want to draw Q and watch? I've given Watt his own page. He doesn't really. I'll show you something. He doesn't really. I don't remember like what the fuck. I guess like the vague personality I had for them was like what's very excitable, and Q is more kind of down to earth. Get gnomed. Oh, well, this is cute. If anyone's ever looked at my Etsy shop, that's my little logo. Sort of penguin kind of creature. What happened? I've talked about this before. I looked out the window during the night, and I thought I saw a weird bird creature. It was not. It was a plant pot in front of a door that had a circle on it. It was like a plant in a plant pot in front of a door with a circle. I then sketched out what I thought I saw. It became Q. It's just the letter Q. He's been my mascot for a very long time. This is the only other character I made for him in a comic that never went anywhere. They are under the same character profile. So if you just draw Watt as well, I guess if you only draw Watt, you can tag him as Q, I guess. The dino does not have a name. I'm sorry, I never give him a name. I will say, hey, to circle back around to what we're supposed to be doing, a lot of the comic, because there's maybe about 10 pages of this comic that I did like 10 years ago. It was very Night Vale inspired. It was just like, it wasn't slice of life, it was just, this is why I struggled with it so much and couldn't keep up with doing it. It was essentially just like one-liners, you know, like the opening sentences of Night Vale? Or like the proverbs that are read at the end. That's essentially what the comic was. It was just these weird little one-line ideas. And I couldn't keep making little one-liner interesting ideas. I just ran out, because I ran out of ideas. There was no more in them. Oh, I forgot there's an attack page whenever you look at a character. Let me go look at Vlad then. I guess, you know, do you think Oscar, I guess Oscar is simple shaped. If you draw him, I guess he counts as simple shaped. That if you go to a character, it says profile, but then you can also click on attacks. And then you can see every time someone else has drawn them. Oh, it's all Julia! Of course it... The only attack she did last year was drawing Vlad. She really likes Vlad. I'm glad somebody does. He's from my Monster Boy band. I've only ever drawn him and Eric, but there are 5 members of the band. He's your local single dad vampire. He's got one tiny little grey streak, and he gels his hair up to they look like 2 little antennas. That's because of hair gel. They don't naturally go like little antennas. He just kind of gels them up like that when he's on stage. If he's just chilling at home, he doesn't have his antennas. I'm sorry. But yeah, when in doubt, Artfight has a lot of FAQ and stuff, and they also have like a guide. If you think your character might need to be filtered, because of either gore, blood, body horror, nudity, suggestive themes, eye strain, or suggestive content, please do. And if you are going to draw any of that stuff, please look at the start. Please look on here. However, if you are attacking me, you should not be drawing any of that content with my characters. Please check people's commissions. I don't give permission for my characters to be drawn that way. And if you do end up going on one of these pages, everything is spoiler tagged. So like, I'm going on the gore page, but there will not be any visible gore. You have to click show. So it's like, how much, you know, because also you would mark for whether it's moderate or extreme. So whether it's bloods, wounds, fate, gore, bruising. I'm not even reading some of these out. But like this kind of gore and body horror is allowed. I'm not reading some of that, it'll upset me too much on Art Fight, but you need to label it and tag it. But please check people's permissions before you ever attack them. You can see their permissions if you look at their character page or whenever you look at any one of their characters. If you scroll to the bottom here, you can see this whole chunk is permissions, and if you go to like the top of my character page, chunks. People lay this out differently. I've laid mine out with ticks and crosses to say what is okay, what is not okay. Do not draw gore or horror or any kind of sensitive content. I was gonna draw Eric to level it out. I think Vlad needs more variety and stuff. They could always be drawn together. They is best friends. I know. I can't believe Eric managed to get her friend. He only has one. And it took a long fucking time. I'm so proud of it. What? Ash, thank you so much for the follow and for becoming one of my children of the night. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. Oh, great. There's an ad break happening. I'm sorry to welcome you into an ad break. Twitch is meant to tell me ahead of time when they happen, but we're talking about, Art Fight right now, which doesn't start for another, just over 2 hours. We are, just over 3 hours, sorry. We're getting closer and closer. Vampire, but you don't like horror, how does that work? I'll answer that when the ad break is over. But yeah, if you look at like my permissions and stuff, I'm fine with most stuff, just like don't draw like horror, gore art, or don't draw any of my characters with minors. Please don't draw suggestive art of a number of my characters. Ship art of my OCs is fine as long as it's with like their canon partners. Do not draw any kind of romantic art of my VTuber unless you want to do it with Julia. Julia's VTuber is also on here. Oh, you actually aren't getting ads? Oh, okay. Don't change the gender, race, sexuality, body type of my characters, which includes changing them from like a trans man to a cis man. That's not cool. Why do that? And then the no AI art, no NFTs. So as for if I a vampire, why don't I like horror? I don't know why that doesn't make sense. Monsters aren't inherently horror. Like, I personally cannot watch horror movies or play horror games because, any kind of gore, any kind of jump scare, is very triggering for me. But to say that because I can't cope with it, I find horror really fascinating. I just can't. I'm not mentally equipped to handle it. But to say, therefore, how can I like vampires? I mean, you can have, like, quote-unquote spooky stuff that is not, like, horror. Like Scooby-Doo level shit, you know? Isn't scary and there's no gore or blood, but it still has monsters in it. And it doesn't have to be, I know this example of something that's like for children, but, would a little blood at a vampire's mouth count as gore? In terms of art fight rules, that wouldn't need, in terms of if you're asking, does that need to be filtered out, it definitely wouldn't count as gore. Would it? Small amounts of blood, like a nosebleed, small cuts, or scraped knees, is okay without a filter. So if it's a tiny bit around a mouth, yeah, you don't need to filter it. If you're asking in terms of would that need to be filtered, no. It wouldn't need a censor warning on it. If you're asking, would I be comfortable with you drawing blood around, like, Ambrose's mouth? Please, no, thank you. It's weird. I'm not squeamish about, I can see blood, like, if, like, I get an injury or whatever. I'm not squeamish about seeing that. But I don't really want to see it on other people. I'm not squeamish about my own blood. But no, I don't. I'm gonna add that to the rules. I know I have a lot of vampire characters. But there's a difference, like, especially in art style as well. Like, there was a couple of characters I had, who actually did have bloodstains on their clothes, because they were drawn in a very silly pixel kind of style. And I ended up editing the blood off them for when I put it on art fight, because I realized, as much as I'm fine in this moment with drawing the blood on their clothes, there are going to be moments where, you know, just because I'm in a good mental state right now to look at this, there's going to be times where I'm not okay to look at this. And also, just because I'm fine with looking at it in the very silly pixel style, if someone were to draw these characters as an attack in a very more realistic art style, I don't know that I'd be comfy, like, that I'd be able to cope with looking at it then. I at least wouldn't be able to cope with looking at it all the time, depending on mentally how I feel. So it's just safer for me that we say, don't. I don't want that questioned. And I don't want to be, like, made fun of for being a quote-unquote baby about horror content. It's not by choice. I will just have a panic attack, and no one wants that. That's not fun for anyone. And then I will just have, I'm very sensitive to getting night terrors. And have CPTSD, and it's not a good combo for me. As much as I find horror fascinating, especially like ARG stuff, I do watch Nightmind, but that's different because he holds my hand whilst he, I know it doesn't make me a baby. I'm more like, if you're that. I was more being like, if you think I'm a baby for it, like, whatever. You know, I will change that. If you wanted to draw Ambrose holding a cup of quote unquote wine, I would be fine. I guess it's I don't want to see the blood on them, I guess is what it is. Let me add a caveat. That's a fair point. But I do love watching Nightmare. I find like ARG stuff so fascinating, mostly because I love the kind of mystery solving element. I grew up with too much Scooby-Doo. That I love the element of ARGs that is like solving puzzles. But I often can't look at the screen. With okay, to draw them. 2, 3. Oh, and that's also why because also when I've been saying wine, I've been doing air quotes because I'm referencing the Dracula "No, I don't like drinking wine" quote, you know? Obviously what is in my VTuber's glass is meant to be blood. It is not wine. I'm very uncomfortable with alcohol. So I'm also gonna add because I didn't think anyone would. But I'm just gonna add do not how do I phrase this? Any of my characters. Do not draw any of my characters drugs or alcohol or being drunk or intoxicated. Just gonna, I don't think anyone would, but I'm just gonna drop that down. Please don't draw any of my characters being like tipsy or anything. Okay. Vampire food comes out, silly juice box. I don't know what I've been imagining. I mean, Ambrose definitely has like very fancy glasses, you know. I imagine Valentine could have a juice box or two. Curious why multiple eyes need to be filtered. Sorry, I'm pretty desensitized to horror and creepy things. Yeah, no, I mean, I personally, multiple eyes, like, if someone had, like, 4 eyes on the face, in a cartoon style, that doesn't freak me out. In a more realistic, like, if genuinely someone came up to me on the street, that might freak me out, probably would. But, no, yeah, that's, eye horror, I mean, I don't like eye horror. Multiple eyes is okay, as long as it doesn't look realistic. But other kinds of I'm very sensitive to eye horror. If it's like, if someone's got 4 eyes on the face, that's fine. I've got a character that's got 4 eyes on the face. But, no, anything realistic like that, and especially anything going anywhere near anyone's eye, I will have a breakdown. Yeah, yeah, I forget what the eye horror proper name is, but plenty of people are sensitive to multiple eyes. Like, kind of the biblically accurate angel kind of thing. That's, yeah, disturbing to a lot of people. Biblically accurate angel, not so much for me. Though again, if it was very realistically drawn, I'd be like, no thank you. Scopophobia is not the fear of eyes or eye horror. Scopophobia is specifically the fear of being looked at. Not the fear of eyes. It's the fear of being, scopophobia is the fear of being looked at and like paid attention to. Fear / anxiety disorder, it can be categorized as both, or like form of anxiety. Scopophobia is more about like being looked at, being perceived, having people look at you. And a trigger like a scopophobia trigger would not be character with 6 eyes. A scopophobia trigger is more like picture of person, like just a photo of like a normal person with 2 eyes, but the photo's taken so that it's like the person's like looking down the lens of the character, so the lens of the character, like looking down the lens of the camera, so it kind of looks like you know, like they are looking at you. It's related to eyes in a way, because obviously to be looked at, someone has to have eyes, but it's not like a thing going into or near someone's eye, or someone having multiple eyes would not be a scopophobia trigger. A scopophobia trigger would more be like being on stage or giving like a presentation at school, and having people looking at you, or having like the attention paid to you. Or a scopophobia trigger in the form of like not a crowd of people would be like a photograph of someone looking like kind of directly down the camera lens so that it almost looks like they're looking at you, even though it's just a photo. That's very triggering. Why would I know that? I have scopophobia. I can't look at photos like that. I don't know specifically. I would Google, but I just realized I was gonna Google what you just said in chat, Jodie, and I was like, wait, I'm sensitive to eye horror. I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't Google eye horror. Maybe don't look where the Google image thing will. What is name for fear of like eye gore? No, I don't want to Google that. Ometophobia? If that's what that is, if I Google it, fucking pictures are gonna come up. I don't trust this. I don't trust this. Whoa, nope, it just came up. Okay. Ometophobia describes an extreme fear of eyes, like other than blah 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 blah. So yeah, okay. Ometophobia is irrational fear of eyes. I guess that would more be the thing. So ometophobia is fear of eyes. Scopophobia is like fear of being looked at. If it's like a drawing, it's fine. It's just, it's certain photographs, or like posters I've had on my wall in the past. A couple posters I currently still have on my wall. A couple of autogram cards that I have. I looked up at it and I was like, oh no, I forgot how uncomfy it makes me because it just feels like I'm being watched. Sorry, Uva, but your autogram card freaks me out. I wish you weren't looking directly at the camera. And everything comes back to European musicals. Autogram cards are, I have a few on my wall. Autogram card in Germany, if you go to like a musical, they have like little postcards of, in Austria as well. If you go to see like a live stage musical, they have autogram cards, which are like little postcards, and they have one for like each actor in the show, and you can buy them, and then you could go to the stage door and get them signed if you want. Some of mine are signed. I personally didn't get them signed. I bought them secondhand off eBay. Some of them are not. I have 6. 2 of them are signed by Drew Sarich, but I didn't get them signed. I got them off eBay, but still. I have one of Drew in Rocky Dust Musical and one of him in Evita. I do not have a acrylic one of him. Sad times. And then I do have one of signed by Mark Liebdish of him as Herbert in Tales of Vampire. One of Uva. It's not for any particular musical. I'm sure it was sold at a certain theatre, but it's literally just of him. It's not of a particular musical. It might have been from one of his like solo tours, maybe. One of Femke, I'm gonna pronounce the second name wrong, so Tenga. She understudied as Pia, as Mrs. Danvers in Rebecca Does Musical, and then I have one of Jesper Tyden as Rudolph from the 2002 SM production of Elizabeth, but it is not signed. Hi, Alex. But yeah, the Uva one, I'm like, why are you looking at me? Stop looking at me. I would prize one off the wall. I have all my European musical posters right above my desk. This could go quite badly, though. Oh, we've been super okay for a long time. I'll prize the one off that Green would like to see. Which is from my favourite production of Towns de Vampire, which is the 2011 to 2013 Berlin production. So this is Mark Liebdish's Herbert. And then on the back you got little biography and the Stage Entertainment logo. But yeah, this is what they look like. Why don't we do this? Why don't the West End do this? We have programs, and you can get those signed if you stage door. But the cards, these are so much cooler. Why don't we do autogram cards? This is gonna be. I'm gonna try and get this back on the wall. What have I done? I should take my headphones out to do this. can't reach the top. I can't reach the top of it. Aha! I used the kazoo to reach. Ooh, get good food. By Herbert. But yeah, I think they're really cool. But yeah, the Herbert one's a little scopophobia inducing. And the Uva one a little more so. Why are we quoting become a thief in the night, become a dog on the run? What are we doing, Gold? Oh, because I said what have I done? Okay, I already forget. I forget what I said like 10 seconds after I've said it. It's already 4 PM. My goodness. Musicals advertised everywhere? I would imagine so. I really Elizabeth is my favorite. Elizabeth Das Musical is my favorite musical, but Dance of Vampire is a very close second. Again, it's horror, but it kind of Scooby-Doo level of horror. There is some fake blood. Again, fake blood doesn't always bother me, but I need to be choosing to see it. If I see it when I'm not expecting to see it, that can be upsetting. Tans is very fun. My level of how much I enjoy really depends on who's playing Krolok, because it's such a spectrum. Some people play the main Dracula-esque vampire very romantically. That's my favorite way of playing it. And very, like, internal, conflict about being a vampire and that kind of stuff. Some people just make him, like, a silly, comedy, doesn't actually care about Sarah All character. Thomas Borhert. I'm sorry, I really don't. I know he's a lot of people like him, but I can't. Drew Sarich is on the spectrum of romantic internal conflict Krolok. I would say Jan Arman goes more romantic than Drew. Jan smooched his Sarah on the mouth before. Scandalous. If you've seen any posters of Tans in Germany, chances are there'll have been posters with Jan Arman on, even though he hasn't played Krolok in many a year. I think the last time he played him, like, they always use posters of him as Krolok, even though, I don't think since, like, 2009 Stuttgart, I think, something like that. Or Oberhausen? I don't remember where it was, but, like, it's like, Jan, you don't, yeah, can you guys get a new poster, please? But I don't know if it's on tour right now, because the last production they had was a Stuttgart one, but I know it's closed now. It closed last year, or earlier this year. I cry. I'm sure it won't be fucking long before before there's another one though. They did actually make a new cast album for the most recent Stuttgart one though, which was very exciting. To have a new cast album, we still don't have a cast album with Drew. Oh, it's in Hamburg right now. There we go. I was like, it's got to be somewhere. You've always got Tans playing somewhere. Oops. Albert Huska, thank you so much for the first time chat. I don't know why I found your name difficult to pronounce for a second. Welcome in. Happy art fight. Well, happy almost art fight. We got just under 2 hours. But welcome in. If you found us through art fight, please do be aware. These streams are 18 plus, and I don't want anyone to interact with me on art fight if you are under 18. Just to get out there. I haven't started doing any work yet today. Obviously, we can't do art fight yet because it's still another 2 hours. I'm itching. I'm ready to go, but yeah. What did I just say? Oh, you checked when Tans is still. Sorry, we're rambling about musicals. That's what normally happens. Yeah, it's in Hamburg right now. What did I just say? What did I say? This is Jan Arman. I told you. They're always using pictures of him. This is not a recent picture. You're so predictable. I think is that Stephanie Metro in the trailer? I'm curious. No, I'm not playing the trailer. Yeah, these are old photos. Yeah, that's Jan Arman's Krolok though. Thank God. I just wanted to throw that out there if you were just coming in from Art Fight. But yeah, I've been rambling about Art Fight a lot. We do have a little Art Fight command. If you want to share what your Artfight username is, feel free. Don't post a link, because it won't be allowed in chat. But if you just want to say the name of the username, feel free. If you post a URL, chat will block it. Just for I don't let people post links just because, you know, in case any, like, bots or anything come in, I don't want anyone to post anything that's dangerous. But yeah, we are waiting. And really, while I'm waiting, I was supposed to be doing work. I've been rambling. But in fairness, I haven't streamed in a week. Am I following you, Trippy? I don't... Oops. Oh, fuck. No. I clicked on something. Don't. I might have accidentally clicked to pin your fucking... God dang it. I tried to click to highlight the username because I was too lazy to type it in. And the fucking pop-up came up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pin... I didn't mean to pin your message. Why are you like this, OBS? I'm trying to click to unpin it, and it's not responding. Unpin this message. Do it. Unpin. Is that an Error Sans email? Sorry, I can see half of his face behind the unpin button. Wait, is it like a close-up of like a plushie? It looks sewn. Did someone make a plush of it? So many things are going through my brain right now. 2 hours and 42 minutes. Yeah, I have to wait till 7 PM my time for it to start. I feel you. I'm just gonna type it in. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Okay, that's what you meant. Yeah. Yeah, because you used the ghost stamps that I made in your profile. I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, oh, those are the ones that I made. I'm glad other people were using them. Because I made too many. I made too many. But yeah, I don't like being in wait mode, being like, why isn't it 7 yet? Oh, it's still like 3 hours. Okay. Remember when it was we're gonna get work done? Remember that? What a fool I was. This is why. So welcome in, anyone. I'm gonna do work now. I've got stickers and stuff to cut out. Oh, you asked what printer I had. I don't know how much I'd recommend this exact model, just because it is like... One, it's 6 years old? It is Wesker! I did wonder if that's what your username was based on. Let me open my curtain a bit more so you can see better. So that's what printer I use. Again, at 1, this printer's like 6-7 years old. And 2... fucking sometimes... Okay, it's a Canon printer. I've always used Canon. I would recommend Canon as a type of printer. This one frustrates me. It doesn't have a tray at the bottom for you to put paper in. So I have to, you know, put this all in through the tray at the back. And when it fucking... This is why I don't do my own prints, right? It's fine for printing out stickers and my badges. But if I wanted to actually print out a full-sized sheet poster... Fucking... When it takes in the paper, it doesn't just go, okay, here we go. There it is, straight down. So we can make sure that it's printing fine. It goes like, Okay, that's a bit drastic. But, like, it does, it sucks it in, and then it spits it back out, and then it takes it back in, and fucks it at a fucking stupid angle. pisses me off. And so sometimes stuff doesn't line up the way it's supposed to. Obviously, that's fine in this case. Well, a little bit. I mean, this shoved everything over to the side, so Achilles is kind of close. But it's fine. But yeah, that is one thing that pisses me off about it. It very violently sucks the paper in. But in terms of print quality, I have not had any issues with it. The printer I had before this one, I had so many issues with. I had to clean it out like every fucking time I wanted to print because it just wouldn't. But yeah, I couldn't tell you what model it was anyway because I don't know. But also I would reckon that a newer Canon model would probably be better than this one. But other than that pissing me off, I can't think of it ever giving me any trouble. Like I said, I mean, I've had it for like 7 years, so. But yeah, okay, sorry, oh my god, there's been no music playing this whole time because we're supposed to be like... Okay, for anyone new, when Mondays, I get Etsy orders ready for the week, so stuff that people have ordered off my Etsy shop this week. I get them sorted. While we do that, so that I don't get distracted, which I already have been for 2.5 hours, though I guess it's not like I was going to do anything else because I'm in art fight wait mode. We listen to Welcome to Night Vale. Because if I listen to music or no music, this is what happens. I will just fucking ramble. So, we're going to listen to Night Vale now. For those not familiar, Welcome to Night Vale is a horror comedy audio drama. It is presented as if you're listening to a fictional radio show of this fictional strange little town that is full of all sorts of supernatural creatures and conspiracy theories. If you are sensitive to audio descriptions of horror, violence, conspiracy theories, derealization, many other stuff. Night Vale's very strange. Please feel free to sit the rest of the stream out. We are at season 2. You can listen to Night Vale if, if you hasn't there, I can't talk. My brain's goo. And also it says there's an ad running when I'm trying to explain Night Vale, so that's not super helpful. Why won't Windows Media Player full screen? Why won't you do that for me? Okay. Let me get the audio back to where it should be. What episode are we at? Season 2, 28. Okay. Volume should be good. I'm just waiting for that ad to end. We'll probably only get through 1, maybe 2 episodes. Because I talked for a long time. Moth, I know you said this in chat earlier and then I didn't read it properly, but you're making a ghost OC? Fuck yeah. Right. So we're gonna listen to Night Vale. Maybe 1, maybe 2 episodes. At least 1 episode. While I can concentrate on fucking doing this and I won't be talking, because essentially it's like we're listening to an audiobook, so I can't talk over it, which is what I need. I need someone to stop me talking. You wouldn't believe that IRL around other people I'm really, really quiet. It's because it doesn't feel like, when I'm on stream, it doesn't feel like I'm talking to other people, so I just like internal monologue out loud, just like what's happening. So we're gonna cut all these out. We'll start with the stickers. So we are on episode 28 of Night Vale. If you haven't listened to Night Vale before, it's not really necessary to, like, the writers say you can hop in at any episode and you'll understand. I will say you will. You will have missed out on the slow burn romance that has been happening, because now the main couple are already together. But things should still make sense as much as things make sense in Night Vale to mean that they don't really, but I mean, like, any context needed, Cecil will usually explain. But, like, even the very first episode of Night Vale didn't give context to how weird it is, because the weirdness is normal for the world of Night Vale. That is just normal to them. So, yeah, but for reminders to anyone who has been listening along, thank you for describing John Peters, Virgil. For context to anyone who has been listening along, or anyone who knows Night Vale and wants to be reminded of where we currently are at, please don't give spoilers for further in the series, as much as I'm aware of the plot up to, like, the end of year 4. And some of year 5, and then some, like, stuff. We're not going to spoil stuff for people in chat who haven't got there yet. So we're on episode 28, which is in season 2, but they don't start from episode 1 again every season. So, we're on episode 28. To recap what has been happening, Cecil and Carlos just went on their first date. Carlos has finally said yes to going out with Cecil and returned Cecil's affections. Very, very cute. Intern Dana is the first intern to still be alive after her horrible fate. She is trapped inside the dog park with a bunch of other citizens of Night Vale, but they are actually still alive in there. I mean, they don't have a lot of food, but she has been managing to occasionally text Cecil, and let him know, like, what is kind of going on inside of the dog park, but they're all trapped in there and they can't get out. And Mayor Pamela Winchell has stepped down as mayor, so there will be an election. Last week, as well as Cecil and Carlos going on their first date, we also got to meet the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home. She also wants to run for mayor. So maybe you can vote for her, but maybe there'll be other candidates. We're only listening to the free public episodes of Night Vale. We're not going to listen to any of the live shows because those are behind a paywall. But if you would like to support Night Vale, please go listen to Night Vale on their YouTube channel, or consider giving them a little money. I don't know if these will take donations, but their live shows on Bandcamp are pay what you want. You can pay as little as $1. Especially if you like the mayoral candidacy stuff that's going to happen in this season, I would recommend the live show The Debate, which is a pretend political debate between the faceless old woman and someone else who hasn't announced their candidacy yet. And also if you really like Carlos and Cecil's romance, I would recommend the live show Condos. I can't recommend the more recent Night Vale live shows as much as I'm sure they're good, because I haven't listened to them. I dropped off listening to Night Vale a long time ago. The only live shows I personally have and have listened to are, like, the first 4. So I can't speak as to what the other ones are about. But that's where we are at right now. The tiny civilization that's under Lane 5 of the bowling alley and arcade from the Desert Flower bowling alley and arcade fun complex is still there, waging their tiny war, but you can just stamp on them, so sure, they'll be fine. So we're just gonna get into Night Vale. Again, if it makes anyone comfortable, you don't have to listen. You can just you can turn stream off. I won't be offended. I can't really give enough context for the strangeness that will occur, but that's just Night Vale. You know, when you open up the pilot, it's just already weird. There's no context. I've seen people try to treat Night Vale like an ARG. That's not really how Night Vale works. Like, are there mysteries that will get solved? Yes. Like, each episode normally has something strange happen, but there's not really there's like a resolution, but we don't really know why it was happening. Each entire season or year does have a kind of overarching plot thread that does kind of get resolved, or you find out more about who a mysterious person is, but it's still not it's not like, I've seen people try to do like Night Vale explained, and I'm like, you can't really explain it. That's most of the point. Like, most of it doesn't have an explanation. It is just, this is what happens in Night Vale. You know? So, I've rambled for long enough. Let's go listen to Cecil's gorgeous voice with episode 28, Summer Reading Program.
Hi, this is Joseph Fink, creator of Welcome to Night Vale. Here's some news. Over the next couple weeks, we will be launching a brand new Commonplace Books website and a brand new Commonplace Books store. Along with that, we'll...
I will also say Night Vale does have a merch store. We are listening to episodes that were currently released, that were released in 2013. So some of the stuff that Joseph is going to say at the beginning of episodes is out-of-date information. Like, Night Vale's website is welcometonightvale.com. I don't know if Commonplace Books is even a thing anymore. So some of, like, the specifics of what Joseph said aren't actually what is currently happening, but there are still ways to support Night Vale. I can't believe they've been going for 12 years. What the fuck? That makes me feel old.
Be a variety of brand new Night Vale things that you can buy. So keep an eye on commonplacebooks.com and see what we're getting up to. Those of us behind the mic put a lot of energy and hours into this show, which we are really happy to give to you for free. If you like what we do and you want to help us keep it going, please consider donating. Thank you to Anastasia Snyder, Katessa Tenhouse, and Claire Buckingham for donating already. Go to commonplacebooks.com and click on Night Vale to join them. Thanks.
Does it even matter how many living things you touched today, or where they all are now? Welcome to Night Vale.
Hi, Cecil. I've missed you. Yeah, everything we're cutting out right now is stuff that I have for sale on my Etsy store. These are the orders that we've got over the last week.
The summer reading program for children and teens has begun at the Night Vale Public Library.
Oh, not the library.
This comes as an alarming surprise.
Oh no.
Given that the program was abolished by the City Council 30 years ago.
Uh-oh.
Though parents and teachers have asked on several occasions to reinstate the program,
But it's dangerous in
the
there.
City Council has maintained its position, citing lack of taxpayer funds, the extreme danger posed by books, the peril of exposing children to librarians,
That's actually
and
a
of course,
fair point by the
the
City Council.
incident that precipitated...
I'm normally not on the City Council's side, but for them to be like, no, I don't think we should put children's around librarians is actually like a good thing. Librarians and Night Vale are very deadly creatures.
The ban, which the town's older residents will refer to only as the Time of Knives. Nevertheless, in a show of civic dedication, or mindless bloodlust, and they really are.
Also, I didn't say when you said you had a Kevin cosplay. I love Kevin so much. I love him so much. I can't give spoilers, because all we've heard so far is the sandstorm. So I can't, but I love him, and I love, when, I always had feelings about Kevin, and then Triptych, like, theories about him, and then Triptych came out and confirmed all of that, and I was very emotional, and vindicated, but also very sad, and I love him.
Similar. Night Vale's librarians have banded together in defiance of authority to reinstate summer reading. Colorful posters with appealing statements like, "Get into a good book this summer," and "We are going to force you into a good book this summer," and "You are going to get inside this book and we are going to close it on you and there is nothing you can do about it," have appeared overnight around the
Kevin so
library
much. I
entrance
love
and
him.
in local shops and businesses, all sporting the clever tagline, "Catch the flesh-eating, reading bacterium." The
think they have
Sheriff's
that on a
Secret
t-shirt.
Police have responded by interrogating the proprietors of businesses where the posters have appeared, and by removing and confiscating the posters themselves.
Okay, now we
Although,
can cut them out for real.
to be honest, listeners, the graphic design work is really cute.
Aw.
I mean, have you seen them? The little flesh-eating germ with his sun hat and library book, using a screaming, semi-skeletal human victim as a beach chair. Adorable. After fierce debate today, the City Council has officially declared murder illegal.
Aw.
A crime that has, until this point, been handled using informal vigilante squads. The head of one such squad, Vincent Lafarge of Grab 'em and Sack 'em, argued that Night Vale has gotten along just fine for years, without the government meddling in murder investigation or punishment. "Do we sometimes catch the wrong guy?" said Vincent. "Sure, most of the time.
Here we go again.
We're not sure we've ever caught a guilty one.
Ah.
Usually, we just grab the first person we see.
Fuck.
One time, we tried to arrest the dead body, but it got away." Proponents of the bill argued that most things in Night Vale are already illegal anyway,
That's
so
true.
citizens would hardly even notice the change.
That's a good point.
The law goes into effect in 2 weeks, and citizens
Get
are
your murder out
advised
of the
to
way
get
now.
any necessary murders
what he's gonna
done
say.
before then.
Boy, I've listened to Night Vale far too much to just be like, oh, better get those murders out of the way now. Oh boy. Ace Attorney type arresting, honestly.
Although, there will be a 3-day grace period after the deadline for those who are forgetful or whose victims are hard to catch. Some summer tips to beat the heat. First off,
Oh, a bit late.
have
We
you
had the heat wave
tried
last
to
week.
reason with the heat?
I have. It didn't
Humans, temperatures,
wouldn't
angels,
listen to me.
and chairs are all equally real and sentient. Which is to say that we're all not real, nor are any of us actually sentient. But give reason a shot. It has never, not once in history, worked, but it might just work this time. If the heat won't listen to reason,
work. It wouldn't.
try denying that it's hot. Doesn't
Gaslight
seem
the
hot
heat.
today, you might
Maybe I'll
say
get
to your
upset.
profusely sweating neighbor. A little chilly even, you could continue, slipping on a sweat.
You say that angels are real? So, I mean, as much as the city council keeps saying they're not real, Cecil does acknowledge the existence of the Ericas.
And making an exaggerated brr noise as the glaring sun plants the idea of cancer in your skin.
I think he might get Hodor's revenge.
And
Dang it.
if denial does not work, then your best bet, as with all problems in life,
Just, like, kill
is
it.
exhausted resignation.
Oh, that's true.
This has been Summer Tips to Beat the Heat.
If we were going to say we could try and attack the heat.
And now a public service announcement. Here is a brief list of everything that is helpful.
No.
The Sheriff's Secret Police. Clouds.
Questionable. Yeah,
Anger.
clouds are helpful. To give us
The
rain.
City Council. Affection falling just short of love. Ceiling fans.
Ceiling fans are helpful.
Lungs.
Lungs are helpful.
Other sundry organs. Laws. Government. Helicopters. The 2005 Honda Accord. Secrets. Whispers. Ultimately, nothing. Anything not specifically named in this list should be considered not helpful and potentially dangerous. It's not just good sense, it's the law. An update on the summer reading situation. 14 young people between the ages of 5 and 17 have already been reported missing and are feared to be
Inside
in
the library.
public library and possibly learning. Attempts by the sheriff's
Again, I haven't listened
secret
to these
police
episodes
to
in, like,
enter
10
the
years.
library,
That's not-
rescue the missing
I re-listened to Night Vale at one point, so maybe it's more like maybe 8 years?
children, and put an end to all summer
7
reading
years?
activities have failed, as all doors and windows have mysteriously disappeared from the library exterior, just like it was before the renovations. Our tax dollars
Oh, yeah,
paid
an
for
earlier
those
episode.
doors
Yeah,
and
in an earlier
windows,
episode they installed
and
the
we
doors.
shouldn't be expected to stand for library administrators just
Boy, if only there was another library, like maybe right across the street, that some billionaire just opened up, even though he doesn't read and doesn't want to read and is just gonna walk around in there naked. Boy, if only that happened in a previous
deciding
episode
to
really
disappear
recently.
them on a whim.
And they could go in
Even
there
for
instead.
a valid reason, like jealously guarding
said
their
billionaire would
possession
allow
of
the
our
people
stolen
in.
children without at least putting the issue to a popular vote. Anyway, in light of this development, the City Council has declared a level orange fear alert. They advise that all Night Vale citizens avoid the public library and provide the council with any information they may have on the whereabouts of the missing children, on librarians' secret weaknesses, or on good books they've read lately. Any citizens who admit to having read good books, the council added in an impromptu press conference televised from a book-proof bunker, will be immediately scheduled for re-education and subsequent de-education. The Sheriff's Secret Police, meanwhile, have instituted a curfew for the entire town, effective immediately. After 7 p.m., all minors should be at home and under adult supervision, and absolutely no reading, researching, online information seeking, educational games,
how am I meant to go down rabbit holes on the
documentary
internet?
television, or having a lifelong love of learning will be permitted. As their catchy new slogan puts it, once it gets dark, forget everything you ever knew and be silent. Words belong to our enemies, and our enemies are words. So be as mute and pure as a bone bleached clean by our desert sun.
That would be catchy if it was
by
shorter.
our desert sun.
Oh, that's catchy.
The police have also stated that any Night Vale citizen encountering a librarian, an entity suspected of being a librarian, or any excessively organized and helpful individual with a working comprehension of information systems is encouraged to shoot on sight.
Oh.
They also added
Hopefully.
that this goes for teachers as well,
Oh.
since, what the hell, as long as we're at it,
No,
we'll
no.
have further
they're not a
updates
prop-
on
teacher's
the
not a prop
story
this season.
as it develops.
Oh no.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I love the sponsor segments.
Congratulations! You are eligible for a free 30-day trial. This
Of what?
free 30-day trial comes with everything you need, including a free arrest, free charges, free arraignment, and free conviction. Guaranteed.
That's that kind of trial.
Shipping and handling
That's
not
a different
included.
kind of trial than...
Defense
Oh, they
lawyer
got me.
also not included.
Oh, they got me with that
We
one.
have you surrounded. The more you struggle, the worse it will be for you. Put that down. Put it down. Put that down. This message brought to you, whether you like it or not. The Freemasons have announced some changes to their hierarchy. These changes are the following. Whereas before the Freemasons were under the authority of the Stonemasons worldwide, they will now be an independent subsidiary of the Hallowed Mason Council, which itself will be split into 4 branches, corresponding with the 4 directions we glance when nervous. The Hallowed Mason Council will also provide guidance and financial support to the Retail Masons, the Wholesale Masons, and the Discount Masons, except in cases involving inter-masonry disputes, which will, as before, be subject to the Small Brotherhood of the Large Chamber, the Large Brotherhood of the Small Chamber, or the Properly Fitted Brotherhood, depending on the patterns discerned in bones cast by a fully licensed member of the Masonic Drone Legion or one of their proxies. Now, of course, the Masons will continue their proud fraternal associations with the Illuminati. However, the Illuminati will itself be splitting into 10 distinct factions,
I'm
as
sure that won't
follows.
be confusing. Oh, boy.
Red, Green, Eagle, Faction 4, the Real Illuminati, the Other Real Illuminati, Red again, Alpha, Windhind, and Hungry Man brand frozen foods officially sponsored Illuminati. This split will be overseen by the Council of Three, which will be supported by the Council of Five, and monitored by the Council of Zero. Elections for the Council of Zero will be held never, and will result in nothing. Discretionary funds for the Illuminati and Freemason Alliance Committee will be funneled through a number of secret bank accounts, their numbers known to no one, and their secrets kept
There's so many
forever.
ghost stickers this week.
All of
think
this
there's been
is in accordance
a ghost
with
frenzy
the General
post-movie.
Secret Agreement of the General Secret Alliance of the General Secret Community,
Not that I'm complaining.
representing all brotherhoods
I
and
worked real hard on these
organizations
ghost stickers. You guys
obscure
know you were
and
there.
hidden, including the
I was streaming
Harpoon
making them in
League,
January and
the
February. It
Flying
took 2
Cape,
months.
the Six
2 months?
Ancient Truths,
2 to 3 months.
and the
Something like
Dental
that.
Underground.
It took forever.
The Freemasons would also like to remind you that none of this may be known to you, and that they are only telling you this to demonstrate your fragile mind, which barely parsed the words as they were spoken, and have already forgotten the secrets contained just moments later. You will never know anything, and you will not even know that. Breaking news. Despite the best efforts of the Sheriff's Secret Police and citizenry, we have received confirmation that over 100 children
Oh,
and
Jesus.
adolescents have disappeared from their homes,
Oh, that's a lot.
beds, part-time jobs, or summer forced labor camps, and are now presumed to be inside the Night Vale Public Library and subject to the summer reading program. Unfortunately, it is my sad duty to announce that this includes intern Paolo,
Of course it
a
does.
high school junior who's been helping to organize the radio station archives
never
over
live.
the summer months.
Unless it's Dana, she's doing alright,
To the
kind of. I mean,
parents
she might
and
she's kind of
family of
starving to death
Paolo.
in the dog park, but...
Our hearts go out to you in this time of fear and uncertainty, as in all other times of fear and uncertainty, which is all of them, really. May you find comfort in the knowledge
Goodbye,
that,
Paolo.
though your son may have been lost in a library, at least he, unlike many of his peers, actually went inside one of those at least once. The situation has... Wait. Hold on just one moment. I beg your pardon, listeners, but I've just received alarming news.
Uh-oh.
An
Is it like-
alert citizen has called in to report inhuman shrieking, thick, meaty sounds,
Oh.
and a coppery, rotten smell of gore and viscera coming
From
from
the
the
library?
now sealed and impenetrable Night Vale Public Library,
Oh, no.
which are, of course, all fairly standard elements of the summer reading program as described in the library director's original proposal. Painful though it may be, it seems that all we can do now, as so often in our dull, blinkered lives below a microcosm of horror and beauty, is wait. Wait and hope, and know that our hopes are immaterial and powerless, and our wishes will go unheard by the indifferent multitude of stars, if indeed they, the stars, are even real. But there are still some comforts that remain to us while we wait. Small,
Like the weather.
shining baubles to distract us from the endless march of time towards events we have no control over and outcomes we never imagined.
And
so,
hunger.
ladies and gentlemen, I give you the weather.
I can't play the weather without getting in copyright trouble. Du boy chauffeur hunger. Whoa. As always, when fear and hunger is mentioned, please don't look up fear and hunger unless without reading the trigger warnings first. Again, me being like, I can't cope with horror, but there are horror projects that I like. I just can't look at them. I love Fear and Hunger. Even though it's, please look up the trigger warnings first. It's a lot. It's a lot of body horror and violence and I say, as the Comic Con that I'm going to this month, I'm cosplaying Kahara. I'm going in a Fear and Hunger cosplay. Oh my god, you know how I was already worried I was going to spend too much money on Holy Hand Grenade Store because of Fear and Hunger stuff? I found out something else. So Green's laughing because I already told Green about this. Oh, so I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna spend money. They always end up making art for so many fandoms that I like. I have so many posters by them on my wall already, and they already have a couple. They have a Fear and Hunger and a Terminator poster and 2 sticker sheets, and some badges and some keychains, and I kind of want all of them. Though I keep debating on the A3 posters. I'm like, if they were like the postcard size, yes. I just don't have a lot of room to... A3 posters take up a lot of room. But I do want the keychains. And I would like the badges. And the sticker sheets. I'll just use those as posters. I was looking at their Twitter, and they... As one does. And they would join Enki, and I was like, oh. And then they would join Kahara, and I was like, oh. And then I scroll down further, they're parts of a bigger drawing. They're making a standee. They're making a standee, and it's gonna have 3 pieces. It's the girl hugging Moonless, and then Kahara, and then Enki. Oh my! And I was like, I commented, I was like, hey, so like, are these gonna be ready for? Are you maybe bringing these to this convention? And if not, are you maybe gonna put them on the store online? And they were like, I am bringing them to that convention, and I'm like, well then. I think if I'm gonna commit and get the standee, that I'm not gonna get the A3 posters, only because okay. I do love one of the A3 posters. It's like the gang from the first game in like the Scooby-Doo poses. But in the background it has every single monster. Including the Harvestman. And I don't want a Harvestman on my wall looking at me with their eyes. I'll get you a link to Holy Store. Because Queen didn't. One, that's not what the shop is actually called. And 2, that's not how you spell their name. They don't have the Fear and Hunger stuff in their store yet. They're taking them to Comic Cons first. I think the sticker sheets and the posters are in stock on their online store. The standee, is not. They haven't finished making the standee yet. But I know. I wish they still had their Hades pins at con. I have their Achilles and Patroclus ones, but they didn't have any. It didn't have any Ares when I last. I want Ares. I want the Ares pin. I want the Ares pin. But yeah, they don't have the standee in that online store yet. They don't have the keychains on, but what they said to me was that wow, my brain. What they said to me is they are working on, obviously, they've got a couple more conventions to do in the summer, and then after that they're going to update their online store to add all of their Fear and Hunger keychains and add whatever standees they have, because they also do have they have a Hollow Knight one, I think. They have an Ace Attorney one. I think they have a Final Fantasy one. There's definitely an Ace Attorney one. I'm pretty sure there's a Hollow Knight one. I don't remember what the other ones are. Hi, Hasta. They do have Hollow Knight. They don't have the standees on their online store yet, so they've got like at least one more convention coming up, and then after that con, they're gonna put whatever stock they have left over, onto their store. But yeah, you can see they have. They're still little guys. Little babies. I'm gonna just use the sticker sheets as posters. I mean, it's got. Amstrad Ragnarvold is not there, but we've got Dom, we got Pav with his tits out, we got Pocket Cat, we got Chromola with his tits out, we got Enki, we got Gar, and Dars. They have a pathologic sticker sheet? Are you shitting me? This is only one page, by the way. There's multiple pages, but yeah, I love. Oh my god, Eggman real time. I miss my wife tales. What the fuck are you two talking about? And I'm pissing on the moon. I love Snapcube Panda. But yeah, let me see. Let me The only social they use is Twitter. They have a Instagram, but they haven't used it in a long time. Like years. Ooh, it looks like they're making a Dungeon Meshy standee as well. But yeah, every time I go to Holy Stall, currently on my wall, I have one of their Ghost Band posters, 2 of their Hades posters, 1 of their Deltarune posters. I used to have one of their Arcane posters on the wall. I also have one of their Ace Attorney Edgeworth posters that I haven't yet put on the wall, and a Baldur's Gate 3 Astarion one that I haven't put on my wall yet. I have a couple of their Ghost keychains. I have a lot of their Ghost badges. I have been buying off their stall. The first time I bought from their stall at a Comic-Con was like in 2017. They've been it's wild that I've got badges from them from back then. Oh, the Wesker. I don't know Resident Evil, but they have a Wesker print that's really pretty. So they're making a Dungeon Meshy standee by the looks of it as well. But yeah, this is essentially what the standee's gonna look like, and I'm very excited. Again, I'm so sad that there's no Ragnarvalda. Where is he? But it's fine, because it's Enki Gahara, so. And the goodest girl, Moonless, is here. The girl's fine. I mean, it's you know. But I want this. And then actually, I only own one standee, and I feel bad about the one standee that I have, because I'd seen these standees before, and the Jujutsu Kaisen ones, and they made one. You could get Yuji, Megumi Nobara, Gojo, and Nanami, and I kept checking every time I saw them because that's Julia's favorite anime. She loves Gojo and Nanami. I would love to find the Gojo and Nanami ones. And I found one of the Nanami. I got one of the Yuji ones with her, and then they also had one. I found one Nanami in all of the shops I went to, and I feel bad because I was like, can I keep him for myself, please? Just because one, he is hot, but also because even though I don't watch Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know if I'd be able to handle it just because of the violence and the gore. I know we'll listen to Night Vale, but Night Vale, I don't have to see the gore, so it's different. But also because it's been really helpful to have as a reference when designing my own standees and keychains and stuff, so I can have a sense of scale. But if I get this, and also because it reminds me of Julia, because it's the man that Julia really likes. But if I get the Fern Hunger one, then I can actually give this to her, and then I can get the Fern Hunger one. I was scrolling down to find the picture of their stall, the last picture of their stall that they had. This was at SunnyCon, which is in Newcastle, if I remember correctly. They do Comic Cons in the UK, by the way. This is a UK-based artist. But okay, yeah, they got a Hollow Knight standee, a Yakuza, Final Fantasy. I don't know enough about Final Fantasy to know which number is the game, but it's Cloud and Sephiroth. They got magnets now as well, which is interesting. They look like the same kind of artwork as the badges. But look at this, look at the Wesker birds. But this is the ghost one that I have. I have this one. I have the rats one in the teeny tiny. The Wesker one though, but I don't know anything about Resident Evil. And I have this Astarion one, and I have this Edgeworth one. And I have this Hades one. Need A3 rats. I'm hoping they'll still have it in A3. Obviously, they were sold out of it in A3 for a while, but they've clearly reprinted it. I'm wondering if that's because of the Goofy. Because of the Ghost movie. So, fingers crossed that it will be there. And we could go get you one. But yeah, they had sold out of one of the 300 keychains, but now clearly it's back. They've got Kahara, Enki, Dawn, and Pocket Cat. They have Ghost Trick keychains, which is just so cute. I will say, get something that you can carry it in and protect it in, because some artists will, when I used to get A3 prints from Holy, like, maybe like 3 years ago, they used to roll them up. They don't roll them up anymore, they just put them in a big A3 plastic wallet. So either bring an elastic band with you to roll it up yourself into a tube, or get some sort of, yeah, that is Team Fortress 2. Get some sort of bag that'll be big enough to be able to, I have like a reusable Disney Store bag, that I got a long time ago, just because I was like, I need a decent reusable bag. And that's big enough to hold it in. And then it'll go in the top of my suitcase when to protect it. So yeah, Holly doesn't roll the print up for you. So either bring something to roll it up, or make sure you have a bag that's big enough, because you don't have to fold it in half. You know, so. That's where all my money's gonna go. Anyway, Cecil. Fuck. All right, yeah, the weather was happening. Let's. Where were we? Summer reading program. I hope those kids are okay, but I doubt it.
This just in, listeners. We've received reports that the entrances to the Night Vale Public Library have reappeared, and the missing children have begun to emerge from inside the building.
Oh.
The children have been described as wild-eyed, feral, some staggering upright, and some running on all fours like animals, caked in effluvia and far more emaciated than the time of their absence would seem to account for. But otherwise, well,
don't say they're okay, Cecil.
And unharmed. At the head of the dazed and shambling pack was their apparent chosen leader,
Tamika?
12-year-old Tamika Flynn.
Yes! Oh my god, I was like, wait. The moment he said their chosen leader, I was like, wait, is this where Tamika gets introduced? Oh. I didn't realize she was gonna get introduced this early. Tamika's gonna be a recurring character.
No. Her mouth clenched in a blood-crusted snarl, and carrying the severed head of a librarian in one
she's
hand,
badass.
and a gore-streaked sticker chart in the other.
She fucking killed a librarian.
Eyewitnesses who dared to get close enough to read the chart reported that Tamika had even finished Cry the Beloved Country, which is very impressive for her reading level. Well done, Tamika. Indeed, congratulations are in order for all the young people of Night Vale who participated in the summer reading program, for proving
Who knows if they were let out,
that neither
or they only got
abduction
out
nor
because of Tamika.
captivity, neither horrors beyond imagining nor unfamiliar vocabulary can prevent you from embracing the pleasures of Belle Lettre. Here's to you, boys and girls. And remember, even while we congratulate Tamika for winning your loyalty with her sophisticated comprehension and extremes of berserker violence, that the real victory won today has been for literacy. Stay tuned next for our countdown of last words, from "Stop telling me how to drive" all the way to "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay." Good night, Night Vale.
Good night, Cecil.
Good night.
I have to say goodnight back. It's polite.
Welcome to Night Vale is a production of Commonplace Books. It is written by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner, and produced by Joseph Fink. This episode was co-written with Ashley Learman. The voice of Night Vale is Cecil Baldwin. Original music by Disparition. All of it can be downloaded for free at disparition.info. This episode's weather was You and I Belong by Simone Felice. Find out more at simonefelice.com. Comments, questions? Email us at nightvale@commonplacebooks.com or follow us on Twitter at Nightvale Radio. Check out commonplacebooks.com for more information on this show, as well as all sorts of cool Night Vale stuff that you can own. And while you're there, consider clicking the donate link. That would be cool of you. Today's proverb: a bar walks into a bar. The bartender is a snake eating its own tail. The windows look out only onto the face of the one who looks.
Hi, this is Joseph Fink, creator of Welcome to Night Vale, and I have some big
Yeah, we can
news
watch
for
the
you.
second one.
But first, as I'm sure you've noticed, you've lost all your skin.
Oh
Sorry about
man,
that.
not again.
We've received your complaints and are looking into it. As I'm sure you've also noticed, we have a new Commonplace Books website and a brand new store with all sorts of new cool things to hide in your home. Postcards, Night Vale NRA bumper stickers, a glow cloud shirt that actually glows. We also have two t-shirt design contests happening. So go to commonplacebooks.com to check it all out. And now, the big news. Thursday, October 10th, we will be taping a live episode at Roulette in Brooklyn. This brand new episode will feature several members of the Thrilling Adventure Hour Work Juice players.
Hey, that's
it
the
will
first live
feature
show.
Jackson Public. It will feature Mara Wilson. It will feature a live...
It's a crossover that they did with another podcast that is one of the live shows that I own. I forgot, that was the first one they
solo
did.
set by our weather, Jason Webley. And it will feature other guests I can't even name here. Wow.
Yeah, but they do
Tickets
live
coming
weather at
very
shows as
soon,
well, so it's like a
so
little
keep an
concert
eye
too.
on commonplacebooks.com for that. Those of us who spend our lives in Night Vale put a lot of time and blood into this show. So if you like what we do, and you want to help us keep it going, please consider donating. We also now have reoccurring donations available, if you like things that reoccur. Thank you to Candace
things that
Parks,
reoccur.
Rebecca Randall, and Adam Mashad for donating already. Go to commonplacebooks.com and click on Night Vale to join them. Thanks.
Our black suns move erratically, like drunken bees, and each of them stings. Now more than ever, we are full of blood and honey. Welcome to Night Vale.
This is episode 29, and it's called Subway.
We start our program with some good news, listeners.
Oh, that's nice.
Several Night Vale residents have reported seeing subway entrances popping up all over town.
The restaurant or the
These
underground?
brightly lit stairwells into the underground
Underground.
have been showing up on several street corners over the past few days. But the secret police have denied knowledge of any subway system. According to our station's research into the issue, there are no records of the Night Vale Transit Authority ever creating a subway system, or getting one approved, or even having discussed building one. Nor has there ever existed
Well, that feels pretty
a
small.
Night Vale Transit
It's
Authority.
a small town. They don't.
The
they
only
need a subway
hints
system.
can be
It's
found
gonna
in
go
the
outside of town,
brochures
like connected to
littering
Desert
the
Bluffs.
entrances, describing the ease with which we will now commute, the hungers we will sate, the time we will travel, the times we will travel, the happy memories we will never be able to shake loose, even when we wake up screaming. I'm looking at one of the new subway brochures right now. There is no logo, just smiling faces, with teeth unusual in their shapes, colors, and spacing, but otherwise quite normal-looking teeth. And the
apart from all the
phrase,
ways they don't look normal.
"Oh, the place you will go," written
Place,
in
singular.
heavy sans serif
It's just gonna
font
take you somewhere and
across
leave
the
you there.
eyes of smiling train riders, clutching tightly to bags and metal rails and each other. I'm looking more closely at these transit brochures, and the paper stock is quite strange, listeners.
Seriously, I don't know if you should be
The
touching
pages are scaly, brown, and translucent. I mean, I usually just have intern Dylan make our radio station flyers on colored copy paper, say a 24-pound goldenrod. But these brochures are so lush, like wings of a majestic insect. The text also just grows increasingly garbled. For instance, here it says that our new subway system will streamline the rush hour commute. But about halfway down, it's a series of nearly indecipherable glyphs. Our experts insist hint at non-Euclidean emotions and appeasement, though we think this may be a euphemism for fares. Finally, there's a crudely drawn map of our new transit system, all routes resembling spasming tentacles, and all passing at least once through a common point deep beneath the center of Night Vale. No one yet knows where the subways came from or where they go to, but as a city dweller, I am certainly happy to hear that Night Vale is embracing mass transit.
I mean, public transport is really
This
good. You
is
should
a
embrace that.
fantastic way to unclog our highways,
But
reduce pollution and
this-
accidents, and, most importantly, subways allow us to interact with each other, make eye contact,
No.
acknowledge each other
Do not.
as fellow creatures.
If you fucking do that to me on the underground,
Cars
and
are
I will throw
impersonal
up.
machines
Do not.
that close us off
Do not
from
acknowledge
humanity.
me.
And with the rising cost of gas and the
not
large
acknowledge me on the
iridescent
underground.
tongues that have been growing from Route 800, I think the
Don't even
subway
look
will
at
be a
me.
positive addition to our community. We'll have more on this breaking story soon.
No one looks at people on the tube.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you now about a popular new service in town that delivers feelings, whether you want them or not. This service has no name or content.
Excuse me, I look absently into the distance already on the subway. Yeah, I just normally either affix I look at the floor or out the window while I have noise cancelling headphones on because it's so fucking loud. I don't know what the subway's like in America, but like here, it's so loud. It's so loud. It's just screeching metal going through a screeching metal tube. I'm so happy I have noise cancelling headphones because it was so hard to ride it before, and now I have those. Last time I was in London, my go-to thing every time I got on the tube was I put Meliora on and I just played it from start to finish. I mean, not every tube ride was that long, but noise cancelling headphones on, Meliora, go, which is it's a Ghost album.
Fact information, it simply delivers feelings. You do not choose the feeling.
I got very used to associating the sound of Spirit, the opening track of that album, with the subway.
Yelp reviews say tingling horror and as though electrocuted I stood before him are the most popular so far. It is unclear where on Yelp you look for these reviews. I myself have received a few feelings so far, such as blood feud and frustrated origami novice.
Oh.
And I'm looking forward to receiving more.
Frustrated at origami
I'm
isn't a fun
crossing
feeling.
my fingers for should have left the party hours ago before I could disappoint her. I would also settle for overcast Wednesday and trampled by horses.
No one wants to.
This is my
Cecil,
own
why would you want to
endorsement,
feel
listeners, not a sponsored ad.
trampled by horses?
I wouldn't even know which company or person to bill for airtime. I just really enjoy having feelings delivered straight to me without having to worry about choosing which feeling and why and when.
Okay, I get that.
The secret police.
Well, before we can hear about the secret police, though, it's that time of week again, listeners. It's Circle Cutter Swishy Swish time. We need a catchier name. For those unaware, people in chat really like the sound that the Circle Cutter makes, so I turn off all the music and everything so that you can just have the sweet ASMR, I guess, of the Circle Cutter. I will move the microphone closer. That's what we got. There is merely 5.
In cooperation with a vague yet menacing government agency, would like to remind you that here in Night Vale, no one is eating each other.
Oh, that's good to
They
know.
remind you that this is a
what?
friendly reminder.
It fell off.
The
I'm
secret
like, wait.
police added their
I was like, okay, time to cut. Wait, where's the blade? Where's the blade gone? There it is. This is actually the second one. The first one went too blunt. To be fair, this one's also pretty blunt by now. Before this was mine, it was my mum's. And it has been owned for maybe like 20 years. There we go. Everything's good. And also, it has the texture on it, as I mentioned once before, maybe 5 years ago. If you notice this, why is some of it shiny? A tragic day happened a few years ago where I spilt a bottle of nail polish remover. And so that's what that is. At least it survived, unlike the computer mouse I had at the time, which melted. It just turned into goo, and the little, the button on the bottom that lets me turn it on and off and get the battery, it just all fused short and didn't work anymore. Nail polish remover is powerful stuff. So, at least this didn't, melt. It just has, a sheen to it in places now. Don't spill nail polish. Be careful, kids. Don't spill nail polish remover. Don't. It, like, split, like, that way down, so, like, it fell that way. So that's why it streaks down. But... yeah, I mean, it's been many years now, so it's just kind of shiny. I don't remember it getting on anything else. But yeah, that mouse was not okay.
Their assurance that they see no reason to alert us to the not at all increasingly common practice of grill parties and consensual cannibalism.
I mean, if it's
It'd be pretty
consensual...
terrible of us to conceal that, right?
I mean, it's better than if it was non-consensual.
Spokesperson said distractedly, deeply engrossed in a game of Drop 7 on his or her iPhone 4S. But listen, the important thing here is we are not... hang on. Darn. Warning or alerting anyone, and I think you should remember to thank us for that.
Well, then why'd even announce anything?
The cloaked figure then double-tapped his or her phone, and a horse rose up from the floor beneath him or her, and they flew off into the sky. The city council has now officially denied any involvement in our fantastic new subway system. We have this direct from a fair-haired and hollow-eyed child they've sent with the denial tattooed on his inner lip. Never approved, it reads. Just a quick aside, listeners. We'll get back to the subway news in a moment, but would anyone like a child? Because I'm never quite sure what to do with the messenger children the city council sends us. I'm not even sure if the child is completely sentient. This one just stares blankly ahead and... oh!
Cecil.
Nope. Oh, he's wandered off. Never mind.
Cecil.
Also, we're getting reports that a press conference was just held in front of the ashen shell of the public library, which of course was burned down last night, and it is only a matter of days before we'll need to burn it down again. Several masked figures, having called the press conference, claimed responsibility for the subway system. Their masks had the countenance of very concerned deer. One of the figures spoke to reporters. "We took the matters into our own hand, even without approval.
Singular hand.
We don't need approval of the city council or the mayor."
Well, there isn't
the
a mayor at the
spokesperson
moment.
explained.
She resigned.
"We do and say what we please. That shirt looks awful on you, by the way."
That's mean.
Apparently here they pointed to Night Vale Weekly Gazette writer Lauren James,
Oh, okay, it wasn't
who
just her
usually
orders.
wears very nice shirts. It's really her bangs that don't work, I think. I mean, I like bangs, but they just frame her face too dramatically, especially with those thick-rimmed glasses. Press conference attendees said they could see something moving behind the spokesperson's deer mask. I am told that the black charred grounds of the library are covered in roaches as well.
I was just wondering when
Also,
you'd invite me back
that
for a
perhaps
bite.
the deer masks are not
Thank you
concerned,
for the hydrate. And again,
but
when someone needs a
disapproving.
hydrate, it's not just a reminder
Or
for
maybe
me.
merely world
Hydrate's
weary
a reminder
and
for all of
under
you to
a
keep
lot of
hydrated as well.
stress.
It's a reminder for us all.
Listeners, I am now being told by a different dead-eyed child in my studio, via complex facial expressions, that if you are anywhere near the site of last night's victorious fire at the library, please do not step on the roaches. We recognize that there are tens of thousands of these vermin,
Yeah,
but
Green, you
we've
better
been
get water.
informed by
What are you doing
inside
without any water?
sources and this really unsettling zombie child that these are proprietary roaches. If you look closely at one of the many cockroaches crawling up your arm, you'll notice they have slogans scrawled across them. Ride the trains, everything is fine, tenderize yourself as needed. We repeat, do not hurt the roaches. We are receiving several reports that the roaches are precious ad space. And if you hold one up to your ear, it's true. They sound like sizzling butter. And now a look at the financial markets. You will turn yourself inside out. Your sadness will know no bounds. Ladybugs will flee.
Well, that is all the Etsy work done for the, well, I package them up on Tuesdays. I don't package them up on screen because I'm not gonna fucking dox anyone's address. But we will at least finish this episode of Night Vale.
You. Wolves run wild in you. You will hear the wind chimes like shattering. The sun will drip ichor. Whatever peace you find will be taken from you. Nothing will be the same. Nothing has ever been the same. Past performance does not guarantee future results. You will whisper to the rising moon as you hear several foxes fleeing your vicinity. This has been Business News. The Greater Night Vale medical community would like to remind you to become an organ donor. It's a simple process that only takes a moment, and you could save a life. You can visit the DMV to pick up the appropriate form. It only requires that you check a box, sign your name, and turn it in. The Greater Night Vale medical community would also like to say thank you to those citizens who have already become registered organ donors. They remind you that collection begins this Tuesday at 4 p.m. Please hold still and wear loose-fitting clothing that day. They also advise that you do not eat anything after 8 the night before. They are particularly
it's not Velgreen. This wasn't going to be good.
And skin. A representative was quoted as saying something that resembled a hiss and then quickly biting the reporter's ankle. It has come to our attention that some Night Vale residents are getting off the trains transformed.
I mean, what did we expect?
Mayor Pamela Winchell described these commuters as thinner somehow, spiritually. Like you think it's the afternoon, but it's almost evening. That's what they're like. Carlos, caring and reliable Carlos the scientist, thinks maybe the writer's DNA has been washed out, emptied, completely drained of its contents. Listeners, I'm also being told that some people are not getting off the trains at all. I'm looking out my studio window now and see a new subway entrance has just appeared across the street during this very broadcast.
Cecil, don't.
I have seen dozens enter.
Go in there.
And few exit those stairs.
Don't send the internet either.
I have
I feel like that's what you're gonna do.
grave concerns, Night Vale.
Please don't send the internet.
I have just been handed a press release by another small child. He has such deep blue eyes and so many freckles. He is smiling, and there is something dark moving behind his teeth.
1.5 hours till
The press
fight.
release is covered in roaches. Now the boy is leaving, and I hear a rapid but faint clicking sound. According to the release, the City Council says we owe today's increased productivity to our glorious new mass transit system that just appeared this week.
I don't know
It
who
goes
I'm
on
doing
to
for...
say
Well, actually, it should be
that
Bellano, shouldn't it?
Night Vale could eventually
It should be
become a
Bellano.
true travel destination, like Japan, or Brazil, or Singapore, or Luftnarp, or Svitz.
Or Svitz from A
I know
Memory
we
in
still
Europe.
don't understand who built the subway,
21.
or where it goes, or what has happened to all of our family and friends that have gotten on the train today. I know there are concerns, Night Vale, but this subway seems to be a major step forward for our town, for our environment, for our...
Cecil, what's that?
Here.
Is the subway going underneath the
Something is
station?
happening, listeners.
Is there like a tube going underneath the station?
This does not appear to be a standard government-created earthquake. Across the street, there are shimmering waves of heat curdling the air above the subway entrance. A black cloud of large insects is swirling above. I do not know what this means, Night Vale, and since intern Dylan never returned from his
Fucking knew
errands,
it. I fucking
likely because I told him to take
the
new
subway. I fucking
to
knew it,
save
Cecil.
time, I myself must go investigate. In
Cecil,
the meantime,
no, don't go in there.
I give you
Cecil, honey, no.
the weather.
Cecil, no.
I was poor in love. I was.
Oh, I remember this weather.
I was okay and
Oh, I remember this song.
else there was.
But Cecil, honey, don't.
It's spring somewhere, Night Vale.
Are you cool?
And I must admit, the last few minutes, even stretched as they were seemingly into eons,
Are you cool, Cecil?
have left me feeling renewed. Returned as I am to my home after so long away. It's like
Did you
I'm
go?
walking into fresh, clean water.
Did you go on the subway?
Even as I lean into the mic.
Cecil.
I entered the subway,
Uh-oh.
like many of you,
Uh-oh.
and like many of you other riders, I saw and felt the cosmic suffering of millennia, was witness to eras of countless births and deaths, and wars and discoveries, and kisses and plagues and knives and cold,
Kisses?
empty void. I saw it all at once, and I could not make sense of any of it, but I understood it fully, and it took years, Night Vale.
That's why they come off looking so haggard. Cecil's been gone for
I
years.
have been missing you since I left you to the weather.
For us, it's been minutes, but for Cecil, it's been a few years now.
What was the weather like then? How much time has passed for you? Only 4 minutes? What of the ground shaking and the cloud of
To
insects
Cecil, it's
and
been
the
years since he
immense
kissed
heat?
Carlos. He needs to go
Well,
see him.
That's apparently what happens when an express train arrives. People hurrying to far away, long away destinations. The click, click, click of rush hour commutes.
So how come some people can
Reading
get off the subway and some people
unimportant
can't?
news stories. Solving unimportant number puzzles. Looking up briefly to give seats to the elderly or infirm. All the while, not knowing where they were going, or why, or what terrible things they would never unknow upon choosing to commute through whatever that singular point below our city is. That intersection of space and time. A sort of navel of the universe. And somehow we are all better, wiser, kinder, for going where we went for as long as we were gone, though we did not age but a few moments. We still do not know
Have a
who
good night,
the
Marv.
dear masked
When you wake
transit
up, maybe it'll be
people
art fight.
are, or whether they are people at all. Perhaps they are thousands of roaches packed inside a business suit, hiding behind a mask. Or perhaps the mask was not hiding them at all, but hiding us, sheltering them from our immature,
It is
solipsistic minds. But now
You might be
there is a
be
subway.
obviously
now
whoever
we
I
can
pick
go
has to be Julia
anywhere.
first. It's probably gonna be
and
Bellano.
perhaps
I draw
we can-
Bellano every year. Julia draws Vlad for me every year, and I draw Bellano for her every year. But after Bellano, okay, well then maybe it's somebody else's turn. I don't know who, but pick somebody. Yeah,
know
we're just finishing up an
anything
episode of Night Vale.
if
Yeah,
we ride for long enough.
we're right at the end, Hasta.
Listeners, there's another child in the studio. This one is faceless, covered in denim and dust, with a long swoop of unruly brown hair covering what would be the right eyebrow. The child is holding a handwritten note. It reads, "Because of construction, all subway service is suspended until further notice. For your convenience, free shuttle buses will be provided. At the moment of greatest despair and hopelessness, when you least expect it, a shuttle bus will come to you. Thank you
The first
for
after
your
that.
patience."
Who knows? Yeah, Apple. I'm going
The
Julia
future
first.
of urban planning
IRL friends,
is
and
here,
then-
Night Vale. And
I don't know,
like
then none
our
of you were
own
safe.
eminent futures, it is buried in the earth. Stay tuned next for a swarm of flies circling a hot mic. And as always, good night, Night Vale.
Good night, Cecil.
Good night.
Welcome to Night Vale is a production of Commonplace Books. It is written by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner and produced by Joseph Fink. This episode was co-written with Russell Swenson. The voice of Night Vale is Cecil Baldwin. Original music by Disparition. All of it can be downloaded for free at disparition.info. This episode's weather was Pour in Love by Destroyer. Find out more at mergerecords.com/artists/destroyer. Comments? Questions? Email us at nightvale@commonplacebooks.com or follow us on Twitter at nightvale.radio. Check out commonplacebooks.com for more information on this show, as well as all sorts of cool Night Vale stuff you can own. And while you're there, consider clicking the donate link. That'd be cool of you. Today's proverb: your body is a temple of blood rituals and pagan tributes. A lost temple. A temple that needs more calcium. You should maybe try vitamin supplements.
And that's what we're going to listen to for today. I'm going to get off stream and I have some food at some point. I'll have dinner before Art Fight starts. And then I'm probably going to draw Bellano first, but now I have an idea of something else. Maybe I do a little group of vampires that me and some other people have. Maybe I draw them together. Maybe I pick a vampire from each of us. But, I will tell you what the name of the next episode is. So next Monday, we'll listen to episode 30. Wednesday will probably be Hades. It probably will just be Hades and not me working on Art Fight on stream. I think I might get too stressed out if I do it on stream. But, so next Monday probably is when we'll listen to episode 30. And episode 30 is called Dana. So we will listen to more Night Vale then. Let me see who else is online. Oh, green! You can still upload characters after Art Fight starts, and you can pick a team. Well, you can't pick a team, but you can join. You can sign up for a team after it starts. Like, you're not out of the event if you don't sign up before the timer goes down. You can still sign up after. You can still add more characters to Art Fight after the time, you know. I think once it's open, I can't remember if they have a timer then counting the opposite way, and then it'll be counting down from when our fight starts until it finishes, you know? Oh, never mind, nobody's online. Okay, well... that's okay. But yeah, if anyone's got questions about Art Fight, they do have an official Discord, but help tab at the top. Read the about page, read the rules page, read the FAQ. If you want like Art Find themed stuff to put on your profile, that's under the art assets page. From the art assets page, there is also links to the fan-made assets and their Toy House world, which has even more fan-made assets. Anyone could submit fan-made assets. And then underneath that, attack categorization for when Art Fight opens, you can start submitting attacks. It will be under the submit character button, but instead of character, there will be an extra button that says attacks. And then there's also the filtering guide if you think what you've drawn might need a filter for any reason, like body horror, blood, gore, nudity, suggestive themes, eye strain, or sensitive content. Sensitive content can cover, you know, a few different topics. I think it covers medical stuff as well as other things. By medical, I mean like as in like syringes and stuff, I think. So yeah, like syringes or like drug use or abuse mentions. See, there we go. So photorealistic bugs, including spiders, clusters of 6+ holes or eyes, and then in parentheses, trypophobia. Yeah, I didn't think when we were talking about like eye stuff earlier that yeah, if there's a lot of eyes, that could also, as well as anyone who doesn't like seeing eyes, could also be a trigger for anyone with trypophobia. And it's not all drug use, like there's different labels on it. Like you don't need to filter it if you're drawing someone smoking. That doesn't need filtering. But just have a little check if you think maybe that might need to be filtered. I would go ahead and double check that if you think, even if you don't think you might need to. But obviously don't have a read of anything you might find disturbing, and don't uncensor the images if you think you're gonna find them disturbing, because you'll probably upset yourself. Be careful. And before you attack anyone, make sure you read their permissions. Some people are only okay with, some people don't like having their characters drawn with other characters. I don't mind. But like, you know, some people are cool with suggestive art of their characters, some people aren't. Some people are cool with you like changing the outfits of the characters, some people aren't. Like, check people's permissions before you go ahead and attack them. And yeah, have fun. That's the main thing. Please don't be really upset if you don't get any attacks back, and please don't like compare like how many attacks you get versus other people. Like, just try and have fun. Art Fight will be starting in 1 hour and 16 minutes. Have fun. May the silliest team win. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Mwah.